I'm running off of 100% caffeine. Definitely caught what my son had, which has spread to his sisters, my wife, and now me. Can't tell if I feel worse today than yesterday, but I should probably open my chat to start. All right. We're gonna see what's up in 2025. There's a couple things I want to go over, a couple things I want to look at, a couple things I want to talk about, and we'll see. We'll see what the outlook is like, and how doom and gloom must we be. Hello, Elijah, Brad, Killer, Shaw, Brett, David. What, you'd be my mentor? Yeah, you don't want me to be your mentor. Maybe, I don't know. I know some stuff. Let's just put it that way. I might be able to help you. Cobalts, Nolak, hey. We're going to take a look at a couple things today. I saw this article. It looked like it might be informative. I don't want to pre-read stuff. I don't want to pre-watch stuff. Maybe it'll be helpful. Or maybe it'll just be clickbait. But we can determine that for ourselves. I've gotten the question a lot. How hard is it to get a job? Right? I'm sure everybody's wondering that if you don't have a job. I was thinking that too when I was looking for a job. Hey, Dan, Ayush, Anthony. And I feel like I have a good grasp of how hard it is, but it might be worse off than when I was applying. So let's see what these people have to say. There's a few videos I have lined up that I want to go over. And then at the end of it all, I might play some WoW Hardcore. Just because I'm running on, if you're just hopping in, I'm running off of a lot of caffeine. So we're going to see. We're going to see how this goes. Hey, Juan. I think it's Juan, right? Nitsuga. My memory's not the best, but my memory's not the worst. Title very accurate. Yes. Well, let's see, actually, right? I feel like it's clickbaity, but Zatan, hey. End of H-1B visa so I can work at Microsoft. Exciting. Oh boy, this stream title. Hey, it's not exactly. I'm not way off base. If we can all agree that the tech job market is a little bit crappier these days than it was a few years ago. Entirely impossible regardless of experience. Whoa, Brad. I wouldn't say impossible. Do you mean impossible to land a job or impossible to do? There's two different distinctions. How can you start in cybersecurity as a high schooler? Zane. If you're really early on, I would do tech support. That's going to probably get you really far along. Because I don't think a lot of jobs are going to hire you. I mean, if you're not 18, it might be tough. So, work for your school. Maybe. Well, let's see, guys and gals. Cybersecurity hiring likely to pick up in 2025. But there's some challenges, okay? You guys need to realize there's challenges. Maybe some of you who are saying you can't get a job are facing these challenges and you don't know how to work your way around them. So, these are good times to pursue. Apparently, these are good times, by the way. Keep in mind that this was written last year, but I feel like it still applies. Job market hasn't changed much. Although, the state of... No, I don't think a lot has happened. Politically, in the tech space as well. I mean, TikTok's getting banned, not banned. That's irrelevant to our discussion today. But stuff's happening, and I think the tech space, cybersecurity space, it's all the same. I think cybersecurity, software engineering, software developers, a lot of the tech positions that are similar in nature are affected more or less about the same, although cybersecurity just faces more challenges beyond that. Funding. Zane, should you pursue cybersecurity? If you like cybersecurity, my next video will hopefully ease some of that pain on whether or not you should, but maybe it won't, and it'll just be useless. We'll see. But this is a good time to pursue cybersecurity, guys and gals of all ages. Latest cybersecurity release by CyberSeek. Oh, what is that about? Oh, this, right. I've referenced this before. There's a heat map. This doesn't usually take into consideration ghost listings. That's new. I didn't know they had that. But let me see. Window. Pop open. Back to our back. I can't hit back without. Okay. I'm not going to click anything. Latest data released from CyberSeek, program of the National Institute, NIST, focused on advancing cybersecurity execution, and workforce development, shows that there are only enough tech professionals to fill 83% of the available security jobs. 83%, guys and gals. I say guys, but man, it's just like word vomit. I need to pick a different word. Down slightly, but not much, right? But then again, there's some ghost jobs mixed in there. So really, how much are there? But still, I think even if it's like 50%, it's like, what's going on here, right? Good question. Why is cybersecurity the only job market that's always up for debate? I mean, finance has been stacked since the 90s, but you don't see as many articles debating it. Well, cybersecurity is in the oxymoron. It's in the limelight right now, right? Tech space, limelight. Finance has existed, but it's not newish and exciting. There's always been finance positions since the beginning of the stock market and corporations and everything else that's wrapped into that. I'm not a finance guru. I'm not going to speak to that. But there's jobs, but let's see what these challenges are. This translates into U.S. companies, government agencies needing approximately 265,000 more cybersecurity pros to meet current staffing needs. Right? So they say. The site estimates about 1.25 million people work in cybersecurity. I could believe that. I mean, what's the population of the U.S. right now? Population, was it over 300 million? That was in the U.S., right? Yes. Population. I could type. Yeah, 330 million. 1 million of those people do work in cybersecurity. Also noted in October, it's released that between September and August, more than 450. I think I've already read this before. There's a lot of jobs, supposedly. While cybersecurity job postings were down 22% during this time, the security market fared better than the overall tech market. Okay, sure. Probably because of the, like I was saying, it's in the limelight right now. People are interested in it, which saw job postings decline by about 28% during the same time. All right, tech market was going down, at least job listings. These statistics indicate that private companies and government agencies are more willing to invest in cybersecurity jobs, even as high-tech firms and other businesses trim general staff, IT staff. The hiring landscape looks promising, with a substantial gap still evident in demand for cybersecurity professionals. That's kind of the sentiment I've been getting. Do you have any more statistics here to back that up? Various hiring trends and metrics are indicating an uptick in recruitment. Amir Shaked, Vice President of Engineering at Oasis Security, recently told Vice, well, there's definitely progress. We're still facing a critical shortage of qualified. See, that's the thing, right? You hear there's no demand for cybersecurity professionals, or less rather, and then you hear there's an overabundance of demand, but then they just caveat that with, all right, they're not qualified enough, so they're not getting the positions. And I do believe there's some truth to that. That there's a massive boom, and you could go through YouTube, right? Everybody's like, 6 months, you land a job, do this, buy my course. They try to make it seem like you can get into it super quickly and very easy. And that is a massive pool of people who have done a few things, don't have a whole lot of experience, and they're applying to all these jobs. So it's overinflated in those entry-level positions. They're probably applying to the mid to senior ones too, because that's what everybody says to do. I personally say the same thing. Apply to everything, because you don't actually really know which HR person you're getting. Are you getting Sharon, who doesn't know shit? Or are you getting the person who is actually like running the security department, and they know how to list the job listing with actual qualifications that fit the job itself? You don't know. So you kind of have to spray and pray in that sense. But I'm getting a little heated. The point being is there's a lot of people going into it with not a lot of experience, and there's a lot less qualified people. But you also have layoffs mixed in. So I do believe there's a high demand still, like they're saying. It's just, what is this defined as? And that's where the statistics aren't great, because you're not going to have a list of what are considered qualified. Yeah, Sheeran, exactly. There's so much more demand when you have a baseline of skills. Simple truth is most of the people complaining about the industry are not qualified, and honestly the bar isn't even that high. Too many people thinking these beginner level certs are teaching them anything. Well, beginner level certs, they serve a purpose, I feel like, Sheeran. You need to know the basics at some point. Like, you were there at that point. I was there at that point. We were all at that point where we had to learn the basics. It's just that now we've learned the basics and we built off of them, and we're, skilled-ish professionals. So I believe there's some value in the basic certs. That's usually not enough, though, especially in a job market that we're currently in, when there's not enough to go around for those people. Like my last job, for example, that taught largely on the job. All the beginner level certs that I've said to go do, those are more than enough for that position that I was hired for. It paid absolute crap. And I'm sorry if you ever hear this, Fortune 500 company, the salary we were paid, which was hourly, which was a contract work, was shit. But I had very little responsibilities and had very little bar to entry. So that was a rant about beginner level certs. I didn't learn the basics built from it. I just dove in head first and eventually learned the stuff that may be taught in beginner certs. Well, yeah, I mean, there's different ways to learn the basics. Some people can go in head first. Some people need more guidance. Some people need college because they need someone to hold their hand and be accountable for showing up and submitting assignments, right? We're all different people. But moving on, let's see what else they have to say about these qualified practitioners. CyberSeek data also noted that the critical shortage of cybersecurity workers is related to the so-called skills gap. I'm afraid to click that, but with potential candidates lacking specific knowledge and experience to fill certain positions. Other studies, however, found that recent budget cuts are more likely to blame. Also true. I was one of the. This was a year ago even. I had a job rescinded, and they blamed it on restructuring of finances. There's a lot of that going on right now. There's a lot of tech layoffs around that time last year. This was the beginning. So a full year ago was when that happened. And that was when I posted a video about tech layoffs. Lots of people posted videos about tech layoffs. We're not, I guess we're kind of recovering from that point. I don't have the data in front of me, but I think we're on an upswing from what I can tell. There's a lot less hiring, obviously, but it wasn't as bad a year ago. I think budget cuts aren't as severe. So it's looking good for us, guys. It's looking good. We have there's a positive outlook here, but there's some challenges. Skills gap being one of them. CyberSeek recommends reskilling and upskilling current staff to take on more cybersecurity duties. Yeah, exactly. That's you're facing people hiring within. That's always been a case, though. That doesn't really affect. That's not really impactful to the job market currently. That's just always been around. For organizations seek out talent through non-conventional avenues. Exactly. So this is when you hear people say network to your conventions, cybersecurity conventions, network within your job itself. If you work in help desk, if you work in system administration, whatever job you have, see if there's available teams that you can move into. Butter up your boss, butter up your boss's boss, like strike up conversation. I hate networking, not in the technical sense, but like from people. But you can't argue how it works because of this thing here. Current staff moving within internal position to position. Like I'm hopefully, knock on wood, can move internally from a analyst position to an engineer position. That happens way more often, and you're not going to see that reflected in statistics. So slide into those DMs, folks. Who you know, what you know. Exactly. Who you know is always going to beat out what you know. And it sucks. It's reality, though. You could get someone more qualified if you just posted a job listing, or you can get this guy that you know is kind of qualified and you really like. So personal skills, personability, like personality, how nice you are, how like that has a huge play into it. You're just not, don't go around work like me, ignoring people. At least I don't do that now, but you get what I'm trying to say. Many cybersecurity experts we do that. In the coming year, hiring will likely focus on addressing this gap through skilling, upskilling, says Jason, a senior fellow at security from Sectigo. Skills in demand include AI, integration into cybersecurity, along with traditional roles like incident analysis and cybersecurity engineering, particularly due to evolving technology changes. Yeah, technology is growing like crazy. All the security tools are constantly changing. It's annoying. Their GUIs are changing. Besides the point, knowing which cybersecurity skills to focus on. All right, maybe there's some practical knowledge here that's going to help some of you. Unsurprisingly, the CyberSeek data shows that more employees are seeking cybersecurity professionals who understand AI. Right? I made a short video a while ago, and it was a joke, but the person said, the new intern, right? Maybe some of you have seen this. He's like, oh, you new kids are familiar with AI, right? AI has been around for several years. It's not surprising. You read up on AI and how it's impacting security tools. Maybe they'll say that in here. Let's see. The data noted that job cybersecurity postings that require some AI knowledge have increased from 6.3% to 7.3%. Not a huge leap, but still. Come on, all you new kids. Start schooling us in how AI works. That'll get you that job. While important, it pales compared to more general tech jobs, which saw AI requirements jump from 18% to over 20%. Okay. More general. What does that mean? Oh, I see. That makes more sense. So cybersecurity is less impacted is what they're saying. Generally, general tech jobs, which is, I'm sure all of you watching are more interested in cybersecurity jobs than general tech jobs, but the general tech jobs can help you land that cybersecurity job. So in order to get the general tech job, you need to know even more AI knowledge, which then you can pivot into cybersecurity position. At least understand how it works. Exactly. Alardian, exactly. When I joined CrowdStrike, I DM'd multiple people in the company doing things I think is cool. Had calls with several people lasting 30 minutes, sometimes multiple hours. I'm very jealous of that, Ashirin. I'll continue to be jealous about that because I work at a startup. There's not a lot of people that can pick their brains. So I do miss that aspect. While the cybersecurity field is coming with gripes with AI and its potential, as well as how attackers might deploy these tools, right? Both teams are getting it, bad guys and good guys. Experts noted that potential candidates need to demonstrate some knowledge of the technology to have a chance at landing a job. Sure, you got to know some stuff about AI. Skill set that is most important is adoption of automation technologies. I've said this lots of times. AI is largely affecting automation. Incident response, case in point. Shit happens, endpoint, infected, automation kicks in, and that automation is backed by AI and how it registers what is potentially malicious on this endpoint. And that can be a massive rabbit hole of information that you need to learn and study and know about. That's why there's dedicated automation teams. And those are affected by AI security tools. But Sirocco told DICE, this often requires staff to think about how to optimize their productivity, which leaves many to conclude they're working themselves out of a job. I mean, sort of. Like, you can build out the automation for the team. Yes, it kind of makes you obsolete after a certain amount of time, but say the automation breaks. You got to have a guy who knows how the automation works. So it's more like job security, I feel like. I don't really agree with that point. Staff thinking it's I've seen that happen with like generating like graphic design. They took all their templates that they worked on and they just canned them. They're like, we got your templates now. We're just going to stick it in the AI model. And it's going to spit out however many things we need. But I don't think in cybersecurity it's going to affect it as much with the automation that you have for remediation purposes, containment purposes, what have you. That is the opposite of what they should be thinking. Exactly. Automation will be crucial in all forms of cybersecurity going forward. All right, I like this article already. With AI technologies now integrated in more platforms, experts noted that organizations need talented and experienced cybersecurity talent. Talented, experienced, and also passionate, right? You can't go in there already burnt out. You got to go in there and you got to be like full steam ahead. All this shit is very interesting to me. I want to be that guy or that girl that can automate and streamline everything. So I would add on to this. And who can properly interpret the data these AI-infused systems capture? Sure. AI and machine learning continue to reshape this cybersecurity landscape, and having knowledge in these areas will be increasingly valuable, says Ann Cutler, a cybersecurity evangelist at Keeper Security, told DICE. While AI can significantly enhance threat detection and response capabilities, it's critically important that organizations complement these tools with human expertise. Exactly what we were saying. You need to have people that know how the tools work, and shit breaks. How do you fix it? Navigating the complexities of cyber threats effectively. Cyber threats that have AI as well. While AI is receiving the lion's share of attention nowadays, Cutler noted that successful cybersecurity professionals must ensure that they have other skills, especially fundamentals such as knowledge of networking and how cloud infrastructures work. So much, right? Back to our previous point about how there's a lot of people that know the basics, which is stuff that a lot of people who already work in tech, IT, system admins, network administrators, they already know that, and some of them might have gotten the can, and they're also looking for a cybersecurity position. But now you got to throw AI into the mix. So there's just stuff, more stuff. Got to learn more stuff. You got to set yourself ahead of the rest. To thrive in this evolving field, cybersecurity professionals should focus on building a strong foundation of technical knowledge and skills. Yes, with those beginner certs, Sharon. Beginner certs. Essential competencies include expertise in programming. There's a caveat with programming. I think you need to know basics of like scripting, maybe one language a little more intimately, and then other languages just kind of loosely. But it depends on the job. It depends on the cybersecurity job that you're getting into. Application security, heavier on the programming side and understanding of it. Security analyst, especially SOC analyst, maybe not so much. Just saying. Network technologies, you need to know networking probably most of all, because that's the bridge between your company, what you're defending, and the bad guys is the network. And cloud services, because cloud's getting massive. I'm trying to get in cloud. Everybody's trying to get in cloud. On-prem is old. It can be a little more, I don't know if there's people who'd say cloud is less secure because it's not hosted on-prem. You don't have access to it. But I think cloud is less secure. That's my personal opinion. I'm going to die on that hill. Jesse, I respect you in helping people from what I learned in advice. I left the tech market for solar engineering. Ooh. That's a massive space. Solar energy is huge. For those newish, all access worked on Google's AI. Dang. I bet you have quite the resume, Jesse. Along with solid understanding of operating systems and data storage, right? I made a video on everything you need to know as a security analyst, and I feel like it pretty much covered this. Additionally, familiarity with wireless technologies, how people can break in through Wi-Fi, wireless, everything. Air gaps aren't 100% foolproof. Not always. Hardware systems is vital, as understanding technologies. Yes. All of that. In addition, Cutler recommends learning one or more cybersecurity frameworks. Yes. You need to know these exist, right? PCI DSS, credit. Blech. Hold on. PCI DSS, credit cards, FIPS, NIST, government stuff, SOC 2. Poke around and learn those. You don't need to memorize them. Experts noted that the role of AI is still likely to change the fundamentals of cybersecurity and tech in ways that the world is only beginning to understand. Exactly. It's in its infancy, I'd say. It's like the Wild West right now with AI. AI is making stuff more complicated. We don't truly know the implications of it all. We like put some in, it breaks stuff. You're like, oh crap, I didn't think of that. And I'd say it's in like the alpha stage right now. If I had to categorize it in, I don't know if that's a purely game dev term, but it's in the alpha stage of affecting the tech market. Maybe even before that. This is why it remains critical to develop these types of skills now. Exactly. Learn now, so you're not left behind. Alpha 1. Exactly. Mohammed, after all the hard work getting A+ and Security Plus, you still have landed a job. Feels discouraged and lost. Any advice? Keep trying, and you got to keep leveling up. those are just the basics, and you can keep applying with those. But while you're applying for all the positions you're applying for, keep adding to your resume. That's all you can do. AI is creating more opportunities and will have a positive impact in 2025. With AI, we can solve more problems than ever before. Very true. ChatGPT is making my job a little bit easier. It's like, how do I write this script that I'm trying to get out? I don't want to have to test. That's wrong. I just slap it in. It tells me this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And I can kind of tweak it from there. Just an example, right? Makes things quicker. And that creates more opportunities for jobs and skill sets in the market, says Vishal Saxena. Can't say that. CTO at Octus. I don't believe we are at a point yet where AI is impacting IT jobs because it can't write and execute code at scale. Yes. Some of our engineers have been using GitHub Copilot to write code. Exactly. But they still must tune it and make it executable. Right. You can't just slap it in yet. It spits it out and works. It's not, I'm sure all of you have seen videos like that and streams like that. AI is designed to replace jobs that are very repeatable. Yes. Like, nah, I'm not going to say that. The work software developers do isn't very repeatable, and so it's hard for AI to replace them. Yes. Now, there was an interview with Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sure some of you have seen it. Maybe not. But he was saying how it's going to take the tasks that all the grunt junior devs do, and it's just going to do them. And it'll get to the point where they no longer have to deal with that. So it's mid to senior level software devs that will just work with what they're given through that. So, yeah. In the next 2 to 3 years, however, we could start to see AI impacting IT jobs in a negative way. I would, maybe not. I would set this gap probably 5 to 10 years. I guess we could start to see AI impacting IT jobs. It's very relative. What does that mean? Start to see? Like, we're already starting to see how it's impacting them now, but 5 to 10 years, we're going to see some major impact. My opinion. Younger security pros face challenges. I'm sure a lot of you in chat, Mohammed, I don't know if you're young. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. They're facing challenges like getting a freaking job. How'd you rank Blue Team Level 1 and Level 2? Currently taking Level 1. FC, Blue Team Level 1 is very expensive. 2 is even more expensive. I personally recommend CCD. It's cheaper. Anyways, while organizations such as CyberSeek emphasize reskilling and upskilling, experts note that younger job applicants, those seeking their first or second career opportunity, that's not me anymore. I'm on my third if I had to get a new job. Nice. I'm not old, or I'm old. I've aged out. Are having a tougher time finding opportunities lately. Yes, we're aware of that. We need more insight into this. This is an area that interests you must address. The main issue seems to be with hiring entry-level candidates. Many organizations are currently reluctant to invest in training. That's a huge problem. But honestly, you can't blame companies for not wanting to upskill people and train them on the job when there's a massive influx of people who want the job. It's not a job seekers market. It's a job, not job seekers. Yes. It's a hiring market. What's that term? Блять. Job versus job finders. A job seekers market favors job seekers, meaning that there are more job openings than people seeking them, while job hunters market favors employers. Yeah, okay, job hunters. Signifying a surplus of job seekers competing for limited positions. Yes, anyway, semantics. There's limited jobs, and they have their pick of the lot. So why would they train you? Why would they waste the money? Like, the amount of money you lose when you hire somebody and they find a better job that's just lost money. Of course they're not going to hire you to train you, right? They want qualified individuals at this point, which sucks for the people who are younger, have the basics set, and they could have in a different job market time landed a job where they trained them a little bit. So it's kind of compounding on itself. It's real shit to be a young security pro. I wouldn't say pro, but maybe you're a pro. And anyways, this says Oasis Securities Shuckhead said this trend has led to a noticeable gap in the market, as have them personally have encountered numerous junior candidates who have been searching for job opportunities for more than 12 months. I don't know how many of you in the chat are in this boat, but 12 months, I've never applied for 12 months. That has never happened to me. I've applied to everything en masse, and I've been able to get a job within 6 months. I would say within 3 months. I'm frantic when I apply to jobs. Unless you're being frantic right now, GG, this is live. Yes. I'm not. I'm trying to read this, and there's a lot of comments, but I might be able to answer some of them. For security pros in general, IT workers and developers is another reason why the AI discussion continues to resonate. Yes, it's a hot topic because people want jobs. They're sick of not having money to pay the bills, or if they're fresh out of college, they want money to start their life. So naturally, it's going to resonate. But you only needed one. That's my mindset when I go to apply for jobs. You only need one job. Yeah, you applied to 5,000 jobs. But once you get that one job, there you go. Smooth sailing, hopefully. Hopefully you don't get laid off. When considering career moves in 2025, it will be essential to look at your experience and ability to solve the complex challenges. Yes, that's basically saying it's important that you're smart. That you can handle complex, smart things. When you look at these types of jobs being eliminated in the job openings, there's a theme. It says Succeena. That's probably not how you say that. If your experience has been in more of a cookie cutter type of IT role, those are the ones being eliminated. So cookie cutter are the only thing I can think of right now is like resetting a password, right? Somebody, I can't get in. They submit a ticket. That is going to be for the first thing to go is the resetting passwords. It's going to be automated. We have that sort of automated at work right now. As AI, embedded software, cloud technology, and cybersecurity initiatives continue to grow and expand, engineers, it's our time. I say we when I don't even have an engineer job yet, but I'm working towards it. With those unique skill sets and experience in handling complex problems, right? You can use all the system administration, all the IT technical work, troubleshooting, right? Troubleshooting is huge to make you more of a qualified person, more of a less fireable person. So don't get complacent, right? Upskill yourself. If this is one of you who are about to be eliminated because you're in a cookie cutter type job, IT role, your days are limited. Limited time left. Start learning about AI and upskilling everything. The biggest fear that I have at my current job and my last job is getting fired, but it's not even a founded fear with there's something to back up my fear. It's just my paranoia. So I'm constantly trying to learn. I'm constantly trying to feel like I can help with multiple things that aren't necessarily assigned to me as my job. I think that's huge moving forward. And getting a job in general. Don't just get complacent, get 3 certs and say, why can't I get a job? And then just stop there. The jobs that are currently going away are not the ones that are in demand. Even if young job seekers lack specific skills, experts noted that now is still an opportune time to explore cybersecurity as a career option. Yes, of course. For job seekers, the key takeaway is that now is an opportune time to enter. Cutler added, isn't that the same thing? Duplicate. You guys need to fix your your thing here. Organizations recognizing that investing in cybersecurity talent is essential to safeguard their operations, indicating ample opportunities for prospective candidates. Sure. Okay. There's not a lot of data to back that up. But luckily for all y'all, there's videos. I have videos that we can watch to see what everybody else thinks. All right. There is the truth about... Where is that? The reality of tech jobs in 2025. Let me put down the music because that is loud. Okay. We have... Wow, that got real quiet real quick. Window to the reality of tech jobs. Tech is dying. RIP, I just started last year. It's not dying.
The bloodbath in tech continues with Facebook, or Meta as it's now called, firing more than 11,000 employees.
In 2023, Meta's stock price shot up 194%, making it one of the most successful tech companies of the year. At the same time, they laid off 21,000 people. Google's parent company, Alphabet, hit record profits and laid off 12,000 people. Microsoft's value crossed $3 trillion and they cut 10,000 jobs. Something doesn't add up. It gets weirder. The average software engineer salary is at an all-time high. Companies are paying more than ever for talent, yet tech unemployment has doubled in the last year. Today, we're going to break down the actual numbers behind tech's bizarre job market and explain why those jobs may never be coming back again. To understand how one bad year could shatter tech's unstoppable growth, we need to look at just how massive and consistent that growth actually was. In the year 2000, Google was a startup with 40 employees. By 2010, they had 24,000. By 2020, 135,000 employees. And by 2022, they peaked at 190,000 employees.
It's like a
That's
tech
not
bubble.
just growth, that's exponential growth.
Yeah.
Each decade, they weren't just
Massive
getting
growth.
bigger, they were growing faster. And Google wasn't alone. Let's look at the numbers. Amazon in the year 2000 had 9,000 employees, and by 2021, they had 1.6 million. Meta/Facebook had 2,000 employees in 2010. By 2022, they had 87,000 employees. Microsoft in the year 2000 had 39,000 employees, and they grew to 221,000 by 2022. This wasn't just hiring for the sake of hiring. The tech market was expanding so rapidly that companies needed this.
That's something that it's been brought up before. Hiring for the sake of hiring is to inflate the perceived perception. That's the perception of a company's value. That's why people hire. That's one of the reasons people hire, is that if you're hiring, it seems like you're doing well, so it raises the value of your company.
This many people just to keep up. From 2000 to 2010, we saw the internet become mainstream. Then, as you remember, the mobile revolution happened. After that, cloud computing took over. And then in 2020, the pandemic forced all the companies into going digital. Each wave created entirely new industries, products, and job categories that didn't exist before. The math was pretty simple. More technology equals more products equals more engineers equals guaranteed growth. Until it wasn't. In 2022, something changed. For the first time in over 2 decades, tech saw its first real market contraction. The zero interest rate period rewarded growth in tech saw its first.
What is this? U.S. tech jobs. We have Vanguard base case, pre-pandemic trend. It's going up. .com reception trajectory. Okay, it's going down. Okay, I see. It might just crash into oblivion. Got it.
Real market contraction. The zero interest rate period rewarded growth in every single tech company. But when inflation skyrocketed and interest rates went up, the NASDAQ dropped 33%. But here's the key thing. It wasn't just that the market went down, it's what that decline revealed about the entire tech industry's foundation. You see, tech's growth wasn't just built on innovation and disruption. It was built on a very specific kind of math, one that required continuous, uninterrupted growth to work. And when that growth stopped, even for just a year, it triggered a domino effect that has made the future of tech unemployment questionable. During tech's growth years, the message was clear. Learn to code, get a 6-figure job. The entire education industry restructured around this promise of the demand.
How many of you, when you were growing up, did you think if you learn to code, that's going to be the easiest route to a 6-figure salary? That's what I thought. I was like, I'm going to go into computer science. I'm going to go do stuff with computers. It's going to be easy. I'm going to just code some stuff. It's not that hard. If I could do math and science and get straight A's in math and science, it's going to be the easiest thing ever. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong.
Demand for engineers and data scientists was practically infinite. Companies couldn't hire fast enough. The education industry saw dollar signs. The universities couldn't mint CS graduates fast enough. From 2015 to 2020, the number of CS graduates almost doubled, from 60,000 to 100,000. But back in 2013, when the number of CS graduates wasn't enough, Silicon Valley had an idea. Why wait 4 years to make a programmer? Why not do it in 3 months? Enter the coding bootcamp.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
So you want to be a web developer? Check this.
You can graduate in as little as 4 months.
Land the perfect job.
See, this is the problem that I was talking about. Boot camps are part of the problem, and it preys on people who, I mean, I guess it works, right? There are cases where you get a job and they just focus on those, but they don't focus on the amount of like 99% or probably less, 95, I don't know if we're going to be optimistic, who aren't getting jobs 1 year, 2 years down the line because they're just not cutting it. They think the boot camp is enough. They aren't putting forth effort. And then you get these videos on YouTube that say, oh, if I could do it, oh, I did this boot camp, or I self-taught for 3 months and I got a job at Google or I got a job at Microsoft. And then that's what you have to that's your baseline understanding of how easy it is to get a job. It sucks, but it's like it's adding to the problem.
You paid the big bucks, and then you pay Lambda.
These weren't schools, they were the startup-fied versions of education. For example, boot camps like Lambda School raised $122 million with a pitch that sounded too good to be true. Pay nothing up front, learn to code, get a high-paying tech job, and share a slice of your salary. And ultimately, it was a bet on tech's infinite growth. From 2016 to 2023, the number of coding bootcamp graduates went from 18,000 to almost 60,000 per year.
Damn.
The conveyor belt of new engineers seemed unstoppable. But when tech hiring froze in 2022, the bootcamp bubble burst. Lambda School immediately laid off 39% of their staff and pivoted their business model. Flatiron School cut their workforce in half. If they didn't find jobs, the boot camps didn't get paid. But here's where things get interesting. While boot camps are imploding, specialty master's programs are doing better than ever. For one, they've tapped into a completely different market. In 2022, the international graduate enrollment shot up by 21%, and then another 22% in 2023. Schools like Columbia and Michigan caught onto this trend and added special STEM designations to their programs that let internationals stay in the US for longer.
All
Second,
scheme.
and this
I'll
is
get
crucial,
your money.
is the fact that master's programs actually benefit from economic uncertainty. See, when jobs are more scarce, more people go back to school. And unlike boot camps, universities get paid regardless of whether the graduates find jobs. Federal loans cover full tuition, so there's no incentive to actually reduce class sizes. But this creates a mathematical problem that gets worse by the day. We have record numbers of CS graduates competing with thousands of bootcamp graduates. We have expanding master's programs pumping out more graduates than ever.
And this is the problem. This is just CS. Now imagine that this is all of tech, and that now these available jobs are cybersecurity jobs that CS grads can get, system admins can get, IT technicians who have been doing it long enough can get, and they're all sick of dealing with Sharon in HR and her bullshit. So they just want to go do some security stuff, and they apply and they fill up those jobs. And all you new people with the new or the beginner level certificates, that's who you're competing against. And more, probably more that I didn't even point out.
And we have more people entering these programs as jobs get more scarce. The education system we built for infinite growth is still producing graduates at peak capacity, but the jobs it was built for have vanished. So like in a typical supply-demand curve, we're seeing tons of supply of actual candidates while the demand has fallen, making it more competitive for every single job. Now I want to stop right here and note that all master's programs aren't treated equally. For example, UCLA's business analytics program is one of the best programs that I've seen, given how good their placement rates are and how much the staff actually cares about the success of their students. Georgia Tech also has a very affordable online master's program where you can take each individual class and pay on a per credit basis. And the entire program is under $10,000. So overall, I say do your own research if you're actually looking to get into a master's university or going into a master's program.
Or go to WGU. Just saying. They have certificates, but well, I don't actually know about their master's degree, but I'm not sponsored by them. It's very easy to get a master's with them.
So we have a record number of entry-level people looking for a job in tech. But why is the demand for jobs now so constrained? Looking at this graph, something strange is happening. Even as tech companies hit record profits, their headcount in 2024 is still below 2019 pre-COVID levels.
So even though they're growing with their profits, what is that? 240, does it give you a baseline? Billions, 240 billions. The headcount, okay, so likely what's happening is they had to fire a bunch of people that weren't doing anything and contributing anything to actually make the money. And now they're restructuring their organization and they're looking for qualified individuals who can make them money while doing the job of like 3 or 4 of the people that were previously hired doing different jobs. So there you go.
And it's not just because companies are cutting back to boost profits. The real story is what happened to the people who stayed. In a healthy job market, engineers switch companies every few years. Each move creates a chain reaction.
Probably get more work.
The senior engineer leaves for better opportunities, the mid-level engineers get promoted to fill their spots, and then junior positions open up, which gives new graduates a chance to actually break in. But that chain is completely frozen right now. Why? Because anyone who survived the 2022 layoffs is sitting on a golden ticket. Let's take Meta as an example. If you were a senior engineer who stayed through the layoffs, here's what happened to your compensation. In late 2022, you'd expect a base salary of around $200,000 with original stock grants worth $200,000 or more at $88 per share.
Damn.
You might have gotten also a new retention grant as well. Today, with Meta's stock price at $500 plus, those same stock grants are worth millions. Just by staying put, many Meta engineers saw their total compensation rise to record levels. Here's the real kicker. If they switch jobs now, they have to start over. New stock grants at today's prices, no accumulated vesting. Even a 30% raise in base salary can't make up for walking away from millions in unvested stock. And
that is absolutely insane. And that's why benefits are slept on. Like working, for the first time in my life, not being a contractor, I have benefits, and those, like, you can put a number to it, right? Do the math. You can run how many PTO days you have off, if you have federal holidays off, if you get stock, if you get 401k contribution. Like, that's stuff that you don't get taught. You don't really realize that. But that's actually just mind blowing. Facebook's. This
isn't just happening at Meta, it's happening across all of the FANG companies. The irony? Companies planned it this way. By giving massive stock grants during the market bottom, they effectively locked in their best talent for years to come. It was brilliant for the companies and life-changing for the engineers who stayed. But it's made tech unemployment even worse for everyone else. Think about it. We have a record number of new graduates entering the market, but the normal cycle of job openings has completely stopped. It's like a game of musical chairs where no one ever wants.
Oh no, not the chairs. Oh no.
And here's where things get concerning for the future of tech jobs. Companies aren't dealing with just today's headcount. They're planning for a future where they need fewer engineers altogether. The data is already showing the shift. Microsoft reported that GitHub Copilot, their AI coding assistant, makes developers 55% faster at completing coding tasks. This isn't just marketing hype. GitHub's own research shows that 96% of developers are completing tasks faster with.
I am all. This makes so much sense. It does speed up my workday. I wouldn't say this fast because I'm not a coder, but I can see why this is not fake news. This is true.
AI, and 88% feel more productive. Additionally, the average completion time for complex tasks is being cut in half. Wall Street is paying attention. For the first time in tech history, the market is rewarding companies for efficiency, not growth. And investors are betting that AI tools will let companies do more with fewer engineers. But AI is only half the story. There's a massive shift now also happening in how companies build their engineering team. With the rise of remote work, a lot of companies and startups are questioning why their remote employees even need to be based in the US. The worldwide business process outsourcing market was estimated at $200.
All right, do you guys see where this is going? Not only are companies like, hey, wait a minute, they're more efficient with AI. Oh, maybe we outsource talent. All you in the US trying to get a job that's based in the US, all these positions that can be done remote, and you want it to be remote too. You want to live in your lodge or cabin out in Alaska somewhere while getting paid bank. Now you got to compete with people in, I'm not going to name any countries, but you know what I mean.
$150 billion and predicted to increase at a 9% compound annual growth rate from 2022 to 2030. And behind that number is a fundamental change in how US companies will approach engineering talent. If they focus on moving entry-level work overseas and only hiring senior roles in the US, then we're going to see a massive seismic change in how the talent pipeline develops. Traditionally, tech companies would follow a pattern of hiring new graduates, training them for 2 to 3 years, and developing them into senior engineers while building institutional knowledge. But now, companies are replacing that first step with a combination of AI and global talent. Entry-level work either gets automated or sent overseas, and then new grads can't get jobs. So then who becomes the next generation of senior engineers? This isn't just speculation. Major tech companies are openly discussing using AI to reduce their engineering needs. In their earnings calls, companies like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon all highlight how AI tools are making their existing engineers more productive. So let's put all three pieces together. We have a record number of new graduates competing for jobs. Experienced engineers are locked in with golden handcuffs and aren't switching jobs. And companies are betting on AI and outsourcing to need fewer engineers. This isn't just a temporary blip of market condition. We're watching a fundamental restructuring of how tech employment works. And unless something changes dramatically, an entire generation of engineers might never get their start. So after all this doom and gloom, and yes, after I spent 5 minutes explaining how AI is...
So after all that, do you guys feel good? You feel good about what you've done? No, let's see what he has to say. I'm still positive. I got a positive outlook on cybersecurity jobs, coding jobs, software development jobs. I'm still optimistic, but there's just some things, some hurdles that you need to realize are there.
Going to take over all of our jobs. There's still a silver lining. We might be at the beginning of something new and not at the end. First, let's address the AI elephant in the room. Yes, AI is making engineers and data scientists more efficient. Yes, companies might need fewer people for basic tasks. But here's what's interesting. Every major technological shift in history has done the same thing. Worse. And yet, tech jobs kept growing. Because efficiency tools don't just eliminate work, they create entirely new categories of it. OpenAI doubled their headcount in 2023. Job postings requiring AI skills are up 500%. And we're seeing roles emerge that didn't exist a year ago. The real opportunity isn't competing with AI, it's figuring out how to utilize it. Which brings me to a bigger shift in what's happening in tech. For the last decade, working in tech meant one thing, just getting a job at Facebook, Apple, Amazon, or any of the FANG companies. That's what every bootcamp promised, and that's what every CS graduate dreamed of. But something's happening in the startup world. With the AI shift happening, venture capital firms are sitting on a record amount of cash and needing to deploy it. Startups also need to hire more entry-level talent than big tech, as they can't afford senior engineers with golden handcuffs. And even geographically, tech is changing. Silicon Valley's grip is weakening. New tech hubs are emerging in Miami, Austin, and Seattle, and remote work is enabling companies to build distributed teams. In general, I think tech unemployment is going through a fundamental shift. The traditional path of getting a CS degree then going straight to FANG is becoming harder than ever. But we're not seeing the end of tech jobs. We're actually seeing a redefinition of what tech jobs actually are. And just like every previous tech crisis, this looks like it's the end of the road until it isn't. Now, if you're a new grad, entry level, or even a mid-level data scientist or engineer, and you're looking for jobs right now, I highly recommend you checking out Interview Query. Interview Query is the #1 data science, engineering, and analytics interview platform for your job search. We have thousands of jobs on our job board, filtered by different statuses, like if they accept candidates with visas, along with actual interview guides associated with it. Additionally, we have over 700 plus interview questions with in-depth solutions and a community featuring 200,000 plus data scientists. So when you're applying to jobs right now and you need to actually make sure that you're going to be prepared for that one interview you get, please check out Interview Query. Hannah Lee was a master's student who landed a data engineering job using Interview Query. She says, Interview Query was one of the few platforms where I can refresh my knowledge of calculus, statistics, A/B testing, and coding. I think before Interview Query, people mainly use LeetCode. But LeetCode only focuses on the technical aspect with a robotic question. With Interview Query, the questions are presented like an interviewer would ask. Other people can also give answers at the bottom, which offers additional thoughts and ideas on how to answer the question, making it more of a discussion. So there you go. We're super happy that Hannah got her job. And if you like this video, by the way, please comment and like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone, and goodbye.
All right.
People always ask me, Jeff.
Fireship loading up like clockwork. I'm going to drop the link to that video in the chat because that was good. That a little bit of doom and gloom, I will say, but it's harder to get a job. To summarize, it's harder. It seems like it's harder to get a job in FANG, but you could still get a job elsewhere. I don't work at FANG. I could see why they want to outsource, right? If you're in if a company is in a position to outsource because they can afford it, then that makes sense. Do this one back to the where is it? Yeah, here's the article we had. I'm gonna link that real quick in chat. I have another video. It's called "The Truth About the Job Market," specifically software engineering. I think it'll add some more insight to this. that I think we need. We need some more insight on this. I'm feeling a little sad. A little sad about the coding space. Cybersecurity especially is cooked. I wouldn't say cybersecurity is worse off. The things that they covered in that video with AI, language models, streamlining work is not. If you were here for the first part, we saw a statistic on how it affects cybersecurity. AI does not affect cybersecurity as much. So I think we're good in cybersecurity for now, right? It's just complicating things, which is just more stuff that we need to learn. But let me pull up this gentleman after I get that link. You guys should, I don't know if you want to go follow. Go back to that video.
The bloodbath.
Pop that in chat. It was this video here from Jay Fang. That was a solid video. Covered a lot. I also have it in the VOD. But yeah, let's see what else somebody has to say about the state of the job market we have in 2025. Because this is concerning, and naturally so. I'd be concerned as well. A lot of different facets going into this. Someone who's just starting out in cybersecurity, computer science, networking, whatever you're doing to try to get a tech job. There's a lot going on. Thoughts on GRC? It's booming as much as other positions are, right? Security analyst, all the different niches that I've covered in a video before, they're all growing more or less at the same rate. Government risk and compliance is just a different section of it. Let me go to here. We have this gentleman become the next Gordon Ramsay. Just get into cooking. I just can't find a job. It's a pain. Fernando, you just got to keep trying. AI will only keep advancing. It will. Talk about web dev. I wasn't here. Web development, not exactly. It just covered like computer science, coding, FANG jobs, MedTube. Give me chef my recession proof. Nothing is recession proof. State of the economy affects us all. I really think that all of these remote jobs BS during COVID set the foundation for this crap. If you can do your job from your house, a fellow from Pakistan or India can too, and they will be cheaper and work more. Well, yeah, exactly. The only problem, though, is that I don't know the process involved with visas. I don't know if having to sponsor somebody as a worker, if that incurs some cost, that if you are trying to build out a team of like 100, and a lot of companies who are smaller might not be able to afford that. It might be too much for them. But then again, I don't know. And there also could be other issues with what you need to have built out in your hiring paperwork and whatnot that some people just aren't capable of doing. Just about to chat, learn with AI. Well, there you go. Now you know you need to learn it. So let's see what they have to say here.
Engineering job market is more competitive than ever. Over the past couple of years, we've seen massive layoffs everywhere, from the tech giants like Microsoft and Google to much smaller companies. Everyone's been impacted. I mean, I've just been laid off myself.
I'm afraid we're going to have to let you go.
Juniors are now competing with experienced engineers, outsourcing is increasing, and AI is impacting everything. So does this mean it's game over? Should we all just throw in the towel and start flipping burgers at the local Mackie D's? Well, not exactly. In this video, I'm going to break down the challenges software engineers face today, why there's still hope for the future, and talk about how you can actually thrive in this rapidly evolving market.
Let's try that again.
And talk about how you can actually thrive in this rapidly evolving market. Let's get started. Now, the software engineering job market has been through a hell of a lot in the past few years. In 2023 alone, I think it's something like over 300,000 tech workers were laid off, and by 2024, another 130,000 jobs were cut. Of course, every time another layoff happens, the market gets flooded with more and more talent, creating this vicious death spiral. The effect is particularly being felt by junior engineers, as they now have to compete with sometimes quite frankly desperate mid-level and senior engineers who also need a job. On top of that, Companies are increasingly outsourcing jobs to lower cost regions like Latin America, India, and Eastern Europe. This shift is making it even harder to secure opportunities in traditional markets. And then of course there's AI, the elephant in the room. We all know that AI tools are automating routine coding tasks at an unprecedented pace. But look, here's the thing. Regardless of AI or not, back in 2021, the industry was in an unsustainable boom. I even heard of engineers juggling multiple high-paying jobs and grinding.
Yeah, how many of you have heard about those engineers that have multiple jobs? There was a post that I saw, I want to say it was from Primeagen. He posted, he read through a video about how this person was juggling too, just making absolute bank. And I've thought about it. I don't know how many of you have thought about getting multiple remote jobs. My last job, I was in the position that I was like, okay, I am in 2 meetings a day, tops, maybe 3 a week. I barely do any work at all. I just spend my free time doing whatever the hell I want, which in that case, I was researching for videos, making videos, editing videos, whatnot. But yeah, lots of people did that. Still probably do that. So that's who you're also competing with, someone who wants their second job. Which is sad.
Leak code just to keep jumping companies for a quick pay bump. The fact is, it just couldn't last forever. And now we're in the inevitable downturn. I mean, think of other high-paying professions like doctors or lawyers. It takes years of learning and training and overcoming barriers to become highly paid in those fields. But anyway, regardless of that, remember that after every bubble comes stabilization. While many will inevitably leave the industry and average salaries will adjust, this is actually good news for those of us committed to the long term. Remember that these cycles have happened over and over and over again in the tech job market, and this time will be no different. In fact, I think there are actually a lot of reasons to be very positive on the tech market as we head into 2025. First, as absolutely brutal as it's been, we're well into the tech layoff cycle now. Layoffs peaked in 2023 with huge numbers of jobs lost, and while 2024 did see more cuts, they've been slowing down month by month. Historically, these cycles simply have to bottom out and stabilize at some point, and this time will be no different. I firmly believe that the market will recover. It's just a matter of when. Fair enough, it might not look like it did before, but jobs will still be there. Second, let's talk about AI's impact. AI is obviously helping companies produce a lot of code very quickly, but the fact is that the code being churned out isn't anywhere near production ready. It needs to be reviewed, tested, maintained, and improved, and that requires skilled developers. Maintenance of code is typically much harder than development itself, and AI is just not suited to this yet. Once companies put code out into production and start charging money for it, they have a responsibility to keep it working if they want to continue making said money. And that will require developers. Finally, you've just got to glance at the news to see that tech companies using AI and related technologies are raising huge amounts of money right now. What does that money go toward? Sure, some of it goes to infrastructure and marketing and providing nice lunches for clients, but the huge majority of it is spent on hiring new talent and keeping that talent happy. Companies still need staff and they still need developers. Now that we've talked about the challenges and reasons to stay optimistic, let's get into the most important part of the video, what you can do to stand out and thrive in the tech job.
All right, practical advice. This is what we need. He kind of reviewed what the other guy reviewed, but how can we help us? How do we get a job?
Market in 2025. Because while the market is competitive, there are clear steps you can take to position yourself for success. First, you simply must start thinking of yourself as a business. If you're lucky enough to already have an employer, start thinking of them as your main client. With all the tools and AI at your disposal today, you have more power than ever to create value. You simply must use it. Whether it's automating tasks, solving tough problems, or delivering results faster, you need to show that you're indispensable. Put simply, if you don't leverage these tools, someone else will. Second, improve your own skills, not just your coding skills, but also problem solving, system design, even soft skills like communication and teamwork. It's not enough to be good enough anymore. You need to actually get good at what.
It's not enough to get good enough. If you get anything out of this video, That's the state of the job market right now. It's not enough right now to get good enough. Is that clear as mud? Can we all agree?
What you do. Whether that means getting, I don't know, a Kubernetes certification or mastering cloud architecture or whatever you're into, invest in yourself now so that when the market picks up again, you'll be ahead of the curve. Next, and I know some of you won't want to hear this, but you have to network more. Look, I get it. I'm a massive introvert and I hate talking to people in real life most of the time. But whether we like it or not, 50% of jobs get filled before they're even posted these days. People love working with people they already know and trust, and so being one of these people, you'll always have the upper hand. If you're just relying on platforms like LinkedIn where you can easy apply with just one click, guess what? It's just as easy for everyone else to do that too. In fact, it would be pretty trivial to write a script that will apply for 1,000 of these jobs. Networking gives you an edge, and it's the only way you'll find these hidden opportunities before anyone else does. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, start building your personal brand. If there's one thing that Generation Z has taught me, it's that standing out is more important than ever. I don't care if it's writing blog posts, creating YouTube videos, or sharing your projects on social media. Putting yourself out there will open doors you didn't even know existed. I can personally testify to this. This is exactly what I've been doing the last few years, even before I got laid off, sharing more about my own projects and progress online. My goal is to encourage and inspire others while building my own brand along the way. Look, I truly believe we're heading increasingly towards self-entrepreneurship in tech. With the right skills, you won't need a company as a middleman.
He's almost done.
Clients will hire you directly as a contractor for short-term projects, allowing both sides to avoid long-term commitments. The bottom line is this: you have more tools and opportunities at your fingertips than ever before, but it's up to you to use them. Think like a business, sharpen your skills, network effectively, and share your journey with the world. These are the steps that will set you apart in 2025. As we wrap up this video,
yeah, okay. We're realistically though, I think everybody's doing that. Everybody's building their brand, or like what they. I guess the main point that I got out of that is it's hard to get a job because of all the reasons the last video said. There's a lot of cope. Yeah, exactly. I think it's just a numbers game. That's what it is. I've said that before. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It is a numbers game. It is a numbers game, and then networking if you can stomach talking to people. That's all I can say about the state of the job market right now. It's a numbers game in addition to also having to constantly improve your resume to try to compete with all the senior mid-tier people looking for second jobs, looking for their new job because they got laid off because they're working at a FANG company that's been outsourcing their work to India or Malaysia, right there. New mask. Yeah. What is the other video gonna cover? Let's see. I have one more video. Where did that go? Is that? Yeah, that one. Oh, this one's good. All right, I think you might like this one. This one isn't some guy trying to spew some. That video wasn't bad. It was very copium. I agree. Like it's patting our backs, make us feel a little bit better. It's okay. Just keep trying, right? Everybody will get their job. Everybody's gonna get their chance. But this person, the job market is dead, and this person has an opinion on it. I think we should all see. Start wearing my black hat. Bills need to be paid. I'm not going to condone anything illegal, everything, but you might find that you need to do some second and third hustles, side hustles. I know I do. I kind of have to too. A lot of bills. Let's see what this person has to say. This is the influence. This is the what do you call it? Inspiration of the video stream title. Where'd that go? Job market's dead. This young gentleman.
We need to talk about the CS job market. Now, I graduated in 2023 of August, right? So around August 2023, we're going to look at this graph of number of tech jobs. And these are number of tech jobs open at the moment, right? So like 2025, you have 212,502.
That's a steep drop.
As of January 3rd, as it says right here. When I graduated, it was right here, 177,000. Currently, it's a lot more.
There's hope.
By like 40,000, but it is still not what it used to be in 2023. This is the number of positions that were open, 474,000.
That is when, no, it's not actually. That's a lie. 2023, I was at the bottom of that. So when they rescinded my job offer, it was the end of 2022. 2020, wait, is that right? Yeah, a year ago, 2024, 2023. Oh, it was the end. Okay, so it was in the uptrend. Okay, never mind. It was just crap all around.
If I graduated pretty much 1 year earlier, and I was going to graduate 1 year earlier, but you know that I'll save that for.
You would have gotten laid off.
Anywho,
you would have gotten that job and got laid off.
Using a different tab here, this is tech employees impact by layoff. So this is the amount of people that got laid off. First, we saw this graph, which was the amount of tech jobs open. We see that it's significantly decreased from 2022 coming into 2023.
The COVID boom.
And that was when all the layoffs happened from all the big companies, right? Here, you could see the number of people that go. Again, this is the exact same thing for number of layoffs happening, right? It's slightly different in sense this is how many jobs are open, and this is how many people got laid off from their jobs.
Right.
However, although it's different, it's not exactly completely different. As you can see, the trend pretty much mirrors all of it. This is just showing 2025, though, I will say. But you can see there's still a bunch of layoffs. I mean, Intel, Dell, we see year over year.
It's going down.
2020, we got 120,000 layoffs. 2021, 24,000 layoffs. That was absolutely nothing. 2022.
I just want to say that I got my first security job, officially security job. It was, when was that? Crap. 2023 full year, 2022. I got it mid 2022, and I survived this layoff. Just saying, I wasn't one of the casualties.
243,000, and then up to 2023 when I happened to graduate, 430,000. Now we're on 2024, 237,000, and this is absolutely getting ridiculous. Because while I'm trying to find a job, I graduated over a year ago at this point. It's 2025 currently. So while I graduated, we can see that I am competing for junior positions with what is this? Like, I'm just gonna add 2, 4, 8, and I'm gonna round it up, call it 900,000 experienced developers for junior positions, right? That's who I'm competing against. And that would like fresh out of college.
Yes.
Right? On top of that, it's been a couple years. So not only am I competing against the people who have actual experience, I am competing against the people who just recently graduated with me, or, and obviously I've been out of the market for a while. So they'll look at my resume and say, hey, what's this big 1 year gap? The 1 year gap is I couldn't get anything. Okay, that's the 1 year gap.
You just explain that.
I have been applying. Last time I checked was 7 months into my spree of continuous applying.
I know.
And I remember I typed in, unfortunately, I recently typed this in again. Now, if you don't know, every email says, unfortunately, we have like declined. It's just stacked. Did y'all hear the dog outside? No. It's your classic phrase, hey, we're not going to hire you. 2023, 11/12/2023, all I typed in was the word unfortunately. Keep in mind, we're scrolling back through my applications. I told you in August, although I definitely started applying before then. We're just gonna start right here. Like, we see rad business. Okay, we see a bunch of, obviously not all of these are like, look at these, some of these are GitHub, not all of these are applications, but you see for your entry level full stack developer, Angular, C Sharp, JavaScript, unfortunately we cannot. I'm at 301 out of 350, right? This was a long time ago, and all I did was type in the word unfortunately. Now, not all the job applications that I've sent in have said the words unfortunately, right? Most of them ghosted. Some of them just didn't use the word. I remember counting this up. As I said, 7 months into it, I did over 2,500 applications. 2,500 applications. At the same time, I remember seeing headlines. The headlines were saying this student couldn't get a job after he applied for 300 applications. In my mind, I thought 300 applications. Dude, that's rookie numbers. I did 2,500 application. And I can't get anything. They're making a news article over this guy that just applied 250 times. That is shit, to be honest. Now, 2,500 applications, what's wrong, right? You're starting to be like, hold up, your resume must suck then, right?
Oh.
No, but I got it looked over by
my mind.
everybody. Plus, when you don't have them
This isn't an older video, by the way.
It's hard to really put something on your resume without lying your ass off and padding the shit out of it up when you have no experience. It's like, what am I really going to put? I worked at Walmart during college.
Projects.
I had a job as a rock climbing instructor.
Projects.
Am I really going to put that on there? No, I'm going to pad it up with some projects that I did. And I did do some projects.
Thank you.
Sure, not the best projects, but
Not
still,
the
I did
best.
some projects. That
He
are
admitted to it.
they're okay.
Half-assed the projects.
It's like a full stack website. It's some software. It's a video game, and those are the things I worked on legitimately. Also did some AI stuff for a company that was a startup company. Again, I did all that stuff. And that's what my resume was filled to the brim with.
I would
right?
love to see his resume.
I filled my resume with
do you
all
have a
that
link
information
somewhere?
because I don't have actual work experience. I could lie and say some of this was work experience, but it's simply not, right? So by being a good person and not lying, I'm not getting anywhere. In fact, I've been here, as I said, I've been stuck for a year.
Why would you
without
be a
anything.
good person?
And at this point, I
What does
took
he
on a
mean by
different
good person?
job.
He's not
and
lying.
honestly, that's my 9 to
Okay, let me just pause that right now. It's not lying, right? Is that I was kind of looking for other stuff. You need to treat your resume, right? This is my 2 cents, my resume advice. This is what I did. I've said it in videos. You need to treat your resume like the best version of yourself that you are phrasing things to apply to what they're looking for. Don't just put together a resume that says, "Oh, I did all this stuff," with half of it irrelevant to what they're looking for. Embellish. Right? You could say stats here and there. They're not going to question it. The whole point of it is because I don't think he's landing interviews. I haven't pre-watched this. I don't think everything he's showing in his emails is making it seem like he's not getting interviews. The whole point of a resume is to get you to the interview process. If you're embellishing it and you can prove it when they ask you questions on the resume or on the interview process, and you're going to go through hopefully multiple interviews. At that point, they're going to realize, oh, you just lied on your resume, and they're just going to throw you out. That's the worst case scenario. That's all they can do. Do you think they're going to put you on this blacklist of, oh, this guy, he embellished some shit, don't hire him? There's not like this universal blacklist that employers are referencing. That's just get you to the interview. That's it, period. And a lot of companies who offer services like, oh, we will guarantee you an interview. Just go with us. We get a portion of your pay. They prey on people that don't know this aspect. It's such a simple concept. And people are afraid of, like he's saying, not being truthful. It's not that you're not being truthful. It's that you're painting a version of yourself that you know that you can own up to and explain stuff by the time you land the interview. Because if you can't, then at that point, yeah, you're lying and you're going to look like an idiot. So don't lie, but come on. What are we doing here?
9 to 5, I come home tired, and then I don't do shit. So all that coding that I built up from college, it's been over a year now, and I've worked a shitty job, and now I don't even know how to code, right? But no, let's say that's my problem, right? I should just once I get home, I should start studying and lead code and whatever and absolutely grind. But I've already grinded for a year of applying. On top of that, I have done projects. I mean, sure, I haven't done lead code, but I've done projects. And I still can't even like land an interview. So it doesn't even matter what projects I do when I can't even land an interview to begin with. Right? And this shit is abysmal.
He can't do it
because
he can't do it, everyone. All right. I just want to look at what people are saying here. He commented, "Hello, getting a lot of comments. There's a ton of misinformation, so I'm going to clear things up. I do currently have a job. Lots think I'm unemployed, but no, I have responsibilities and bills to pay. So I currently work as a patient care coordinator, and I'm put this on a little ambiance. Let's go back. I like the other one. All right, let's just read what he has to say. I do currently have a job. I've been with him for about 8 months, give or take. Okay, so he's not unemployed. This dude is yapping. Yeah, he's going on, and it seems kind of like he's playing a woe is me game a little bit. Which, I mean, I've been there. I've been woe is me a lot to my wife. She's comforted me, but I haven't gone public with it. Actually, it's not true. I did once. Yes, I did projects, filled up my GitHub, leak code, got my resume reviewed several times, apart from applying. I question who's doing these reviews. I want to go talk to the people who did these reviews and be like, what are you smoking? You can't land one interview with 2,500 applications? Sorry. I apologize. You can't land one interview. You can't land one interview with 2,500 applications. That means the resume is probably an issue. That's just like common sense. My ears. I forgot because the videos, I bumped it up. But okay, he's did projects. He also had an internship from college. I would say that only about 10-15% of applications I applied were tailored. Okay, that's fine. I didn't tailor all my resumes either. I only tailored resumes to the jobs I gave a crap about. Blizzard, looking at you. Activision, I was trying to get a job desperately, even an internship. They did not want me. Yes, not all that I applied to explicitly said entry level or junior. Also fine. You should apply to all jobs. You never know what they're looking for in the mid to senior level ones. Someone could put a senior position on the job listing and they could just be stupid HR, right? Thinking this is a senior level position. But for the most part, I avoided things that said senior level, way too many years of experience. You don't have to, right? If you're on LinkedIn or if you're on Indeed, just click the button. Don't tailor your resume. Click the button. You never know. It only takes a second. Out of desperation, I did end up lying on my resume extremely hard and easily got interviews. Oh my! Look at it. There you go. Got it. Easily got interviews. Audiologists hate this one streamer. Click to read more. Is that me? Did I yell too loud? Okay, he got interviews after what he's saying is lying. Let's see what it's why I said lying is the way to go. It's not what it's not that I'm above anyone else. I did do it, but the interviews blew up in my face and they figured out I was lying. Not what you're supposed to do. You don't lie, you embellish. What you're embellishing, you better be able to back up. Right? You need to be able to explain what you like, and you prepare to answer everything you've said on your resume. That's the preparation part. You have a week out before you get an interview, 2 weeks. Study what you were stretching the truth about. Right? Get good at explaining yourself. I think it was probably a lot of him not being able to explain what he knew. Right? Realize that how you explain stuff is equally as important as what you know in your brain. If you can't articulate what you know, they're going to think you're lying. They're going to think you're stupid. And also consistency. If you're not being consistent in how you answer questions, on, oh, I know how to do this, and then all of a sudden you say, oh, I kind of know how to do it, but not really, that's immediately going to be a disparity between what you said you know how to do and what now you're saying you don't know how to do, and immediate red flag. Interviewers are looking for any red flag possible to discredit and push you aside because there's so many applicants. They don't need a red flag. So I vowed I would stop since the interview bombed. He did it wrong. I don't know what to tell you. I did make it to the last round interview, though. Okay? He was almost there. Anonymous official? If you believe in white supremacy, then remove your... Whoa there. Calm yourself, anonymous official. MAGA's darkest unleashes existence horror, annihilating very soul, enslaving humanity. There was before. I don't know who that is. What were we saying? After lying, it took about 2 weeks applying to get 2 interviews. I ghosted the second interview since that last one went so poorly. This sounds like a case of not trying hard enough to prepare for the interviews. That's what it looks like. Maybe I'm entitled for expecting there to be jobs for me after graduating. Of course, I didn't expect to get one out of the gate, but I sure as hell didn't expect to take over 6 months. It's not that you're entitled. I just feel like you're dealing with the same mess that everybody else is dealing with, and you're going about it in slightly a wrong way. Okay. Let me just check my settings real quick. This person's going off their rocker. I didn't think I would have to do this. Where's settings? How do I manage this? Alright, where is he? Oh, everybody needs a mod, apparently. Where you at? Where you at, Anonymous? I don't even see it in chat. There he is. Remove your mask. Anonymous. Alright, you're gonna be on timeout for 24 hours. Anonymous official has been timed out. Come back when you learn some respect. Spewing your filth. Okay. If you're brave, remove it. It's my shtick now. Calm down. Okay. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll be entitled for... Of course, I didn't expect to get one out the gate, but I sure as hell didn't expect to take over 6 months. With family pressure to get a job and bills that to pay. I understand all that. I understand the debt and the bills and all that. I had to move on and pick up the pieces. It is what it is. Nobody owns anything. Yes. I'm almost positive he's had so many trolls on here. Lardian, you want to be a mod? Tired of people jumping to conclusions. That's what you get. You put yourself out there. People are gonna jump to conclusions. They're gonna jump down your throat for not doing certain things, just like I am. I am analyzing your comment, and I'm just making some guesses. That's everything I think I missed out saying in the rant video. Yeah. Stop harassing and spamming my email. Oh no, he's being harassed. Kazorp, yeah, that's 15 interviews in 2 weeks after just getting the A+. Those are some good numbers. You know what you're doing. You're doing it right. Kayla Crum, okay, maybe I can... What do you mean by embellish your resume? I've said this... I kept saying embellish, right? What I mean is you look at the job listing. It's asking you, okay, how do you do all this stuff? We want you to be able to qualify, be able to do all these different things with different tools. Take what you have experience from. If it's in projects, say in the projects that you've worked with and done parts of the things that they're asking you to do in your in the job listing. If you're not doing projects but you're doing work experience, say you worked in IT, then talk about the stuff in your IT job that apply to what they're asking you are able to do in the job listing, but then embellish it in a way that makes it sound like you're very competent in it, or at least partially competent. You don't want to be like, well, I've kind of touched this, but there's not that much. I haven't done a whole lot with it, right? Act like, or use phrasing to make them think, oh, that he's qualified enough to, and they fit the bill, right? It's not lying necessarily. It's that you have some experience with it, but you're not saying, oh, I have like barely none. Because as long as you have some experience with it and you prepare to explain that experience, obviously, if you've never done anything with anything and you're trying to do that on a resume, of course you're going to bomb. That's why I say, all right, at that point, you got to move over to certifications, beginner certifications that teach you how to do the things that are listed in the job listings. So that's what I mean by embellish. And that's not, you don't have to tune your resume to everything. That might sound like I'm saying, okay, go to every job listing, go back to your resume and tweak the wording to fit the tools that they're using. You can make more or less a golden template resume that applies to most security analyst or SOC analyst positions because they're just looking for, largely speaking, general understanding of analysis, of investigations, of endpoint security, of the basics of what any security analyst or SOC analyst is going to know. And they're not going to necessarily say, do you know how to use CrowdStrike? Do you know how to put in put in exceptions in CrowdStrike? Do you know how to do all this? Do you know how to go here and do that? They're not going to, largely they're not going to do that unless you're applying to a CrowdStrike position, which I have. Yeah. There's about 238K jobs in Indeed that are tech related right now. Adam, chill. All right. Look at this, guys and gals. Should be the voice of the IT generation. Am I off? Am I off base? If you're using GPT as a stopgap to compete, you're doing it wrong. A lot of people think the learning stops after graduation. That's something that I thought too. And Starfall, I was guilty of doing that even through college. Well, unless that's what you mean by graduating. Graduating high school, I was very, all right, I just got to graduate college and then I'll get a job, no problem. And I still held that mindset until graduating 10 years later. It sucks. And I should have done more research because, yeah, I was in for a rude awakening. Merch? I tried merch. It didn't really work out. I feel like my resume just sucks. I have 7 years IT XP, Sec Plus, AWS Cloud Practitioner in my school for masters and get 0 callbacks for interviews. Something's off. Something would probably be off, yeah. It's either you not applying to enough jobs, not applying to the right jobs, or your resume needs some tweaking. You want a ski mask? What happened to my chat? Let me redo that. My chat froze. There's too many things. Let's see if I can go back through my my feed. What is the future? What is the future of IT or programming and cybersecurity? The future is it's going to get built out with AI. It's going to integrate with all of the different stuff that all the different jobs that currently exist. They're going to be affected by it, and it's just become more complicated. Add your modding experience for Skyrim. You can spin experience from many different places in a way that it's relevant to a job listing, right? That's what I mean, again, by embellishing. Spin your experience so that it sounds like what you did was mostly what they want you to be able to do. Why did he accuse you of being a white supremacist? I'm scrolling through the comments now. I'm ready to mod for their channel. I don't get any review at all. How do you mean the tech job market is dead? In reference to the comment, or the title probably. It's just the video's title. AI will replace entry to mid-level programmers, but not the full stack senior devs. So I guess still going to be worth to learn programming. Yeah, it is still going to be worth, but you got to really know your stuff. You got to get in there real quick. Mr. Wonderful has the opposite opinion, it seems. I do not recommend lying on a resume. I recommend not applying for jobs you do not have experience for or in, which require you to have experience. It's going to be harder. What's the best job board website for entry-level cybersecurity IT jobs? TCARP, I've used all of them. I've sprayed and prayed. Can you give a recap? I just joined. Oh, no. The recap's going to be a little much. Have you ever actually read Alice in Wonderland? No. Elijah. We can't just start from a senior dev position? No, you can't. It's too overcooked. Good sir, I beseech thee to bard upon my ears. Would you ever take on mentees? Oh, yeah. I don't feel like I'd be a very good teacher, honestly. We're a long way off AI replacing real jobs. Indeed, we are way off, as opposed to just enabling existing analysts to be more effective. Yeah. Mati, I don't speak that language. If you don't mind, how much do you make in your current job? Hatu, I make, what was the total amount of WoW tokens that I make? I make quite a bit, considerably. Six figures plus. How do you feel about Active Directory? M365 Engineers Architect? That's an open-ended question, Kevin. What about them? How do I feel? You gotta lie a bit. You always get trained in the positions. Doesn't really have you do all what they post. Exactly. That's a bucket list. Job listings are bucket lists. What's your favorite scent? Definitely not floral, that's for sure. I'm very fond of like cedar scents, wood scents. I like the woods. And in hindsight, saying wood might not be the best word. As of my knowledge, they want cheap people or pay less for work. Yeah, it depends on the company. Some companies are trying to screw people over and hiring in their hiring process. Do you do collaborations? A little bit here. You chat with Unix guy. You're both so knowledgeable. Thank you. You've been helpful. Well, glad to hear it was somewhat helpful. Nokify. I don't think Unix guy is aware of me, and if he is, the future's not set. I do not recommend using join job websites. I recommend using ChatGPT. What companies are local to you, which hire with your organization spirits, which level apply direct. Yeah, applying direct can be more fruitful. I've gotten all my positions from Indeed and ZipRecruiter a little bit. I don't remember if ZipRecruiter actually ever worked out. It was mostly Indeed, and I've heard bad things about ZipRecruiter. But LinkedIn and Indeed are the main ones in the U.S. I feel like. I think folks here are missing one critical factor: location. Location is huge. I'm coming from a fully U.S.-based mindset. I don't know a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot of research overseas. Doing Competency Security Plus. What should I focus on? More certs. World's Wonder. I mean, LinkedIn is the best place to get on a job. Yeah, LinkedIn can be. LinkedIn's turning into Facebook. Can we all agree? It is turning into Facebook. So there's that. there's videos on LinkedIn now. There's influencers on LinkedIn. Come on. I don't know. I like the job listing aspect of it, but the people, what's your vibe, Able AD? Oh, my vibe around AD architects, L3 engineers. I don't look down or like it. It depends on the person. You got some dicks in L3 engineering and architects, and you got some nice people, right? You could have the job doesn't affect the vibe of the people. Have you heard from Cyber First in the UK? UK government gives out professional training while you're in uni for cybersecurity guaranteed job. I have not heard of that. That sounds like a sweet process, though, if it guarantees you a job. Guaranteed jobs are hard to come by. But is that a sure thing? Or is that a scheme? These are different IT career focus. This is more niche. Yes. Hack the Box, try Hack Me. They're both great. ZipRecruiter has been the best for me. Well, there you go. ZipRecruiter works, guys. What about pen test and malware analysis due to AI? I deleted my LinkedIn. You can use it. I did not. Yeah. Scent of a woman. I hate Canada. Barely any jobs there. Mustache, full beard. I've got clippers in hand. Guaranteed jobs. Yeah. Quote unquote. How did you land your first job in IT? Did you go to college for all this? My first job in IT was a local job, actually. It was while I was in my senior year of... Actually, no, that's a lie. My junior year of my cybersecurity program, which made me like a super junior because I had transitioned majors from comp science into cybersecurity. But it was a local job that was 30 minutes away. I got paid $15 an hour. That barely covered gas to go back and forth because I only worked 4 hours because it was a part-time position. Because I was thinking, oh, I can put this on my resume. It's going to be easier to get a job, which it probably was. But I was basically getting paid nothing. Or it was canceling it out with the commute that I had to make. And I got it just by having an associate's and saying that I was actively working towards finishing my cybersecurity degree. That was it. It was a tier 1 technician job. Yeah, I've talked about it before. Cyber First alumni. It's not as easy as it sounds. Yeah. In college studying computer science. Am I cooked? No. Everybody's saying they're cooked. I didn't want this to be a doom and gloom live. I just want to cover some of the concerns that are out there right now and just to tell you some of the challenges that you're going to need to face and not be the guy that we just saw who's kind of more like doom and gloom. Be a little more optimistic about this. Like, yeah, it's hard to get your foot through the door, but once you're there, you can do what presumably is something that you're very passionate about. If you can go back to being a chef, or whoever was saying that, or do some cooking or whatever you want to do in the blue collar work, and that's fun for you, there's nothing wrong with that. But if this is really what you want to do, just realize it's a little bit harder to get into right now. To be fair, a lot of people have said that they were cooked. A lot of people. Nowadays, half the battle is fighting the fake job listings. Yes, it's a numbers game. Do you ever remove your mask? I usually only remove it to sleep. It gets a little uncomfortable when I sleep, but other than that, it hugs my face real good. So, I don't see a reason to ever take it off. Yeah, people think that I wash it in the washer dryer or hand wash it. No, I just hop in the shower. It's like a face mask, 2-in-1. It moisturizes my skin in a way that you wouldn't believe. Put on a second mask. I have a lot of masks. I do. Should move out of state and risk it. A lot of the people, Kevin Ton, I saw in my graduating class moved all over the place. One went to Arizona. One went down south about 2 hours. Another person, I have no idea, but that's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just the mask stays on. Should I move? Do companies respect? Yes. Hack the Box is respected. Try Hack Me is respected. It's an industry-known playground. And if you've got rank on it, put your rank on your resume. If it's a good, impressive rank. Don't just say, oh, I'm in the top 10% of Hack the Box, because it's not really that easy to or that hard to get into. You're the tech luchador? Well, thank you. Sarcasm is best when people ask tough questions. I can't help it. It's just who I am. I can't help I am the way I am. Discord DMs? What happened to Discord? That guy that got hacked. That guy got hacked in the Discord? That's not good. Oh, I see. Thanks, Danny. I'm on it. I don't have any mods. Let me just remove this. Deleted user even. Ooh, that's some spicy content too. We don't want that. We do not want that. Can I not? Oh, no. I can't ban. I can't ban because he deleted his account, so I got to do it manually. Oh, you screwed me so bad. Come on. Block. You suck. Okay, fine. Delete. Delete. Wow, he did all of them. Okay, I'm gonna get to that later. That's a lot. Okay, fine. Delete. Maybe I can answer questions. Is a cybersecurity degree better than a comp science degree? Other way around. I'd say a comp science degree is better than a cybersecurity degree because a cybersecurity degree covers some coding, but not as much. And you can get a cybersecurity job with a comp science degree and not the other way around. You can't get a comp science job with a cybersecurity degree as easy. This is why I need a mod. Why did he have to delete his account? Oh, you suck. Where was Tom? Why did Tom not automatically ban this guy? See, this is why AI doesn't work, everybody. I have AI built into the Discord, and it should have caught this, but it didn't. Just saying, our jobs are still secure for some time. Every channel. Good lord. Even the new channels. Come on. What a pain. Delete. Delete. Likely Discord deleted it? Yeah, probably. Discord got wise. They hopped in far too many servers and spammed. Did he post in the looking for jobs too? Man. If all of you watching don't already know, this is a good tangent. Join the Discord. You can see what I'm talking about while I'm doing this. A lot of like-minded individuals who are always willing to help answer questions when they have time. Naturally. Invites. Copy. There you go. Hop on disc to see. Maybe you'll see We Need Adults. Oh boy. They even posted in the resolutions channel. Man, there's just no respect. Oh man. Okay. I think that's all of it. Right? Single votes. You're hired. Okay. I think I got them all. Nope, there's still one more. Alright, if there's any more that I missed, I'm just gonna get them later. What is a good comp sci degree for highly creative people? I didn't realize there were different flavors of comp science degrees. I mean, it depends on the university you go to, but I guess computer degree? Is that what you mean? Highly creative people. I don't think tech people are generally creative. Troll from earlier making lateral moves. I don't know if he's the same person. What do you think about a network admin degree? Lanx, if you love networking, go for it. Because you can get into a network position and then pivot from there into a cybersecurity job doing some network security. A lot of different niches. Here in the UK, you don't even need a degree to land your first SOC role. That's... don't say that. You're going to demoralize all us in the US. Some people say there's no entry-level jobs in cybersecurity. You have to be at the IT help desk first. What do you think about that? I don't subscribe to that mindset. I think because of how complicated cybersecurity has gotten, all the different niches that they've specialized so much, that security analysts are a lot more basic than they were Previously, you needed to know a lot more. Now they've dumbed it down, for lack of a better word. Yo, Network Chuck. Super chat. Whoa! is that Network Chuck himself? Is that actually him? I love Network Chuck. I've seen him get a lot of hate. He just seems like a good dude. And I missed a troll. You did miss a troll. And I missed Network Chuck. Snap. It sucks. I was dealing with the troll. And I was rude and I didn't say hello. And there's a lot of comments that I'm missing. To be fair, maybe a second minute. Unless that was automated. Is Network Chuck just got some automation going around to try to spread good vibes? Just go to all the streams. Here's a super chat to kind of make people's days. It doesn't take much. I've found a little bit of positivity it goes a long way. Being a sarcastic downer, which is ironic for me to say that, is not the way to go, guys. Cybersecurity already answered that question. Network Chuck has a solid CC. Okay, so before I made the channel, before I made any videos whatsoever, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Network Chuck was one of them because I was just popping around. I was just researching. I'm like, all right, what do we have going on in the tech space? And Network Chuck was all about networking. I'm like, okay, maybe I can try some cybersecurity stuff because there's not a lot of that. In my own weird, sarcastic sense of humor. Don't stream intoxicated, kids. Are you saying I'm intoxicated? What do you mean by that? It might just be that I'm very weird. That might be the case. No bots, just enjoy your content. Keep it up. Oh, stop it. Stop it. I actually no, I'm not gonna say that story, that the embarrassing part of my my history, but I appreciate the kind words. UK is different to mine. I have a bachelor's in CS networking. That's what a bot would say. Yes, that is true. How do we know that you're the real Network Chuck? You start up your own companies such as computer repair. Startup companies, okay, I've tried to start a business, Mr. Wonderful, and starting a business is not a easy task. Anybody can, but there's a lot of, especially when you get into the taxes and all that, you start to realize how much money starts to get taxed. I did it the wrong way. Do you think having an active security clearance is an advantage in the job market? Yes. My proof of why it's advantageous to have a security clearance is government jobs. A lot of government jobs out there are looking for clearances right off the bat, which are not, like, if you don't have it, then you can't apply, really. You can apply, but they're just going to be, a lot of times they'll have a drop down and say, hey, do you have a clearance? And then you could lie, but then what's the point of lying in that case? You're not going to get past anywhere if you don't actually have the clearance. So, yes. You think having a higher chance to get accepted in stock industry with 2 years experience in a technical job? Yes. Bashar, of course. The more experience you have in an IT space, IT job is going to help you in a cybersecurity job application process. Experience is king. Everybody says that. Do you have a beard like Chuck? My wife doesn't like me to have a beard. I have to shave it because she gets mad. And she doesn't get mad. She doesn't like how I look with the beard, and she's not here to defend herself, so I'm just going to say that. She thinks I look better without a beard, and it hurts my feelings a little bit. How do you even go getting a security clearance? Internships. I almost got a baby clearance applying for a contract position with a government-affiliated agency. Wait, you throw me under the bus. Well, you don't. I wanted to grow it out, and you didn't like it. What is a security clearance? It's a process that the government puts in to clear your record. If you have a if you have a criminal background, you can't get a lot of the, I'm pretty sure you can't get any clearance at all if you have a criminal background. Coffee break. I've had multiple coffees, and I'm sipping on more caffeine because I can't drink out of a cup in the mask. Otherwise, I'd be drinking more coffee. Also, if I had a beard, this would be very uncomfortable. It would be pressing into it a little too much. Is someone with these credentials hireable? Jod, what do you have? Did I miss your credentials? If your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two moms. I mean, it comes in largely having a beard just comes out of partial laziness. If you have to think about it, or if you think about it a little bit, like I have a beard not by choice. Often it's because I don't want to shave. It just comes in, and maybe tomorrow. Like haircuts, I only get a haircut when I need to look good for anything. Like if it was up to me, I would just let my beard grow out, let my hair grow out, and I would just look like a mountain man. And I think it would work with my build. You can't see my build because I'm tiny in the corner, but computer engineering degree, a master's in cybersecurity, CDSA, CP test. Jeez. And your question is that hireable? Yes. You're still going up against everybody else who's having issues right now getting a job, though. If you currently have a job in cybersec, how many certs should you still do a year? What's your recommendation? 1. Up north, TFT. Why else would you need more than 1 cert? Certificates, I don't want to be the person who renews all their certs and keeps up with that shit because it's just too much. But that's a lot of the reason behind it is that they have to take a cert, which then renews all their other certs. It's this game of... It just makes money for everybody, really. Is Matt adject? No. I used to be. Partially jacked. I used to work out a lot more. Texting my brother because he wants us to go... Or I'm doing this Sunday basketball thing because I'm trying to get back into shape. But I caught what my son has, so I don't think I should go running. "6'5"? No. These allegations are not true. I'm 6'4" on a good day. Experience is king. Get 1 HR cert and 1 flex cert. That's a good way of going about it, yeah. 8 years? That's quite a bit. Do you hate football like 90% of the IT person in the US? No. Yeah, I like sports. I'm kind of an odd one out, I feel like, though. I'm probably the 10% of IT that likes sports. And that's because I grew up playing sports. I played... Oh, thank you for the Prime. I played basketball mostly through high school for fun. I played for the team, but I wasn't on varsity because politics. They had their varsity team picked already. They didn't play football. Not for the school anyways. I'm working an internship through Handshake. Nice, Rob. Congrats. Is that a cybersecurity internship? Does a cybersecurity job require you to travel a lot? It can. Most don't. Unless you're like an upper C-suite, CISO, maybe like a project manager, a higher up manager, you're not going to have to travel that much. How much should I be reading? As much as you want and as little as you want. You can get away with podcasts in exchange for reading. if you're trying to read up on the news. Politics? Are we going to transition into politics? No chance. I played all forward positions in soccer and was very good at it. I never played soccer. Let's go Linux. IT folks don't hate sports, they're just indifferent. Yeah, well, I mean, it's, at that point, it's being a little bit more into semantics, right? Where do we like sports, or we just don't like paying attention to sports? I think unless you're actively watching sports, it's safe to say you don't like watching sports. I think I just repeated myself, but I think that makes sense. Matt has jam. Well, it used to be. Now I sit in my cave on my computer, and my legs are melting. You had a good work-life balance and security so far, Cobalt? Yes, actually. My last job, wow, the balance. That was a dream job. I've said it was a dream job in a video, and it still is, other than the pay. But the actual workload itself, I could have gotten a second job. And that's not rare as a SOC analyst. I feel like you have downtime. Even my coworker at the time, who I did meetings with, he was in the automation side of things. He said his last SOC analyst position at an MSSP, he was watching, I think he was watching anime, yeah, during the downtime. If my college had a soccer team, I would, at least you got a job. Well, was I looking at the dark side? What did I say? I do have a job, yeah. I'm very thankful that I have a job, and I'm constantly paranoid about losing my job. That's why I'm trying to do a bunch of other side things to supplement in the event that I no longer have a job because of whatever financial reasons, right? You get laid off for some bullshit. You got to have something lined up that you can fall back on while you try to find a different job. That's a sad truth that we can't just live like our old pops did, where you get a house, you pay off the house, and you're good. I'm going to pay off our house for 30 years. Always learning, exactly. Our MSP is def watching anime. Cooked. You have an opinion if I pursue AI, machine learning, and data science or cybersecurity? Both are rather intriguing. I know you might be biased, but that's perfectly fine. Data science or cybersecurity? It's what you're most interested in. I'm not an advocate for cybersecurity just for the sake of getting a job in cybersecurity because it pays a lot. You should be doing cybersecurity because you're interested in doing cybersecurity. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. What other reason would there be? If you're getting paid $60,000 to do data science and you love your job versus getting paid $100,000, right? It's a sizable bump, but you hate your job and you're burnt out. You're setting yourself up to have a terrible career. Just put it that way. It's not impossible to write a book. Yeah. I could very well write a book. I hate writing though. Maybe I'll record a memoir of me just talking and then leave it to my kids or whoever, for anybody who cares. 100K in cybersec? Yes, is doable in the US. I got my first IT job as a field technician, professional services for an MSP for about a month now, and I have an N+ going to finish college in 2 to 3 years. What's the best way to use my time efficiently? Let me think about that. So it's your first job, working for an MSP about a month now, N+. Just finish college. Finish college and rack up some certificates is what I would advise. Towards, like, Network Plus is great, but it's not a hyper-specific niched certificate. If you want to go to blue teaming, get some blue teaming certs. If you want to go into red teaming, cloud, there's a lot of cloud certs. You want to be a cloud engineer, the cloud security, get some certificates that are going to help you get that job, because if you've seen any of the stuff that we were watching up till now, then it's rough out there. You need stand out of the crowd, even with the MSP experience that you're going to acquire. Digital forensics area is boring, but there's a growth. I don't know the state of the job market with digital forensics. DFIR, right, if you're including incident response, is a huge space. That's a very not sought after, but it exists. It's a perfectly fine, somewhat easy to get into. It's hard to get burnt out when you came from nothing. I'd much rather work a job I hate for more money. Trey, I came from nothing too. This might be hard to believe, but both my parents were immigrants from Ukraine. I came to the U.S. first of my siblings. We lived in a trailer park. I lived in a trailer park until moving into my first house with my wife, and my parents gave me nothing other than a roof over my head. Not that I don't want to sound like I'm not appreciative, but I'm kind of on a I don't talk to my mom. I'm gonna just put it that way. But yeah, I came from nothing. If I can do it, y'all can do it. If I don't have a degree, but I have a CCNA, security, and PJPT, can I land a job? I don't love the mentality of, can I get a job if I have blankety blankety blank? Yes, generally speaking, you can. It's possible. How easy it is to do so, it depends on a lot of factors. It depends on how your resume is written. It depends on how you interview. It depends on where you're at location-wise. And it depends on what you actually got out of the certificates. How much do you know and how much did you retain? Did you pass and study? Did you study just to pass, or do you enjoy the work? And it's gonna come across in interviews if you actually enjoyed the work. Do you have a dasha? What's a dasha? I don't know what a dasha is. They revised the course? Which course? At NET. Should I do certs before cybersecurity school or after? You should do them at the same time. And by cybersecurity school, I am guessing you mean a bachelor's. I've been told I'm allowed to tell no, and it's hard because I'm so proud of him. You're not allowed to tell anybody because we get people like freaking Anonymous, what's his face, spewing filth, and that's the type of people that might not like me. Like, you're gonna get people who don't like you, so you can't let it bother you, right? You can't let the haters, the naysayers, right? The doom and gloom, the people in Reddit that are telling you, oh, you need to work in IT help desk for 10 years. And after 10 years, then you can shoot your shot. Stupid, right? Nobody needs that in their life. You do need to be real. Don't get me wrong. You need to be realistic. I'm probably the most realistic person as far as the different aspects of a personality that somebody can be. I'm not an optimist, that's for sure. Can you share a template of resume that you think would be ideal for a resume for entry-level SOC? I would check out the Discord. Do I still have that? I do. I think that should still work. Check the Discord. There's a resume review area. There's also a bunch of other Discords you can join. Mine's not anything special. I say mine, but it's not mine. It's the Mad Hat community who all joined to have fun talking about the cybersecurity job market and getting a job. Yeah, I saw a comment about the guy who spent 10 years to get the cybersecurity field. Yeah, it depends for everybody. Everybody gets into it at their own rate. You never know how long it took somebody. What job? You'll get there, Danny. That's you. The amount of work you're putting in. My God, I would love to talk to you in an interview. I can imagine what you have to love what you're doing to put on the effort that you're putting in. You probably talk circles around me. Dacha? What is a dacha? As a season here, oh, do I have a second home? A country house. I have a house that's in the suburbs of a country. our version of the country in the U.S. I don't live in a major city. We moved out of the major city that was in our area because lack of a better way of explaining it, crime, right? The crime rate was pretty crap. We have 4 kids. We want to put them into school where there's less crime. So we moved out of the main city. Do you work in government security? I don't, Jewel. I work for a startup company. We're more or less security consulting / MSSP. So we're onboarding new clients as much as we can and building out their security stack. It's really fun. I get to work as more of a security engineer type of a person and transition to that, which you don't usually get in a FANG company or a larger Fortune 500 company, because they silo the positions and you'll be lucky if you get added onto a project that teaches you anything useful. So in the middle of a temp security job with my local retail, and it has to do with a lot of automation. It looks like they're in the middle of reshaping their security department. That's exciting. Hopefully it's not temp. Is that temp to hire? Big nitrous? Are you schmoozing them? Are you sliding into your boss's DMs? Going out and on some company bars? Bar dates? How long are you streaming tonight? Not too long. I already told the brosif that I don't feel great, and I don't. I probably sound like probably sound a little nasally, but I'm trying to stream every day. Do you have to use your Russian at work? Niet. I don't. Oddly enough, I put Russian / Ukrainian on my resume. It has never been brought up one time in an interview. Nobody cares. Maybe in government they did. And yeah, you hear sometimes, learn the language because it's going to make you look better in the security positions. Because, hello, Russia. APT. No, hasn't done much. Voice is completely gone. I bet. Your voice did not do well with the strand of cold that our sun has bestowed upon us. Hoping to land a long-term job as a SOC analyst with a fresh security plus, not temp to hire yet, but lots of networking. Networking is good. Make as many friends as you possibly can. Don't burn any bridges. I'll tell you that. Any tips or suggestions on trying to get started with the IAM? I don't know if you would have an idea or not, since it's pretty niche to get into. We actually hired, Gardner, a IAM specialist in I don't know, how do I phrase this? It just basically, his specialty is identity, which is desirable. I would look into just what they're asking for in IAM positions. I don't know what certificates off the top of my mind are, or top of my memory, top of my memory are what they're asking for, but that's where I would start. The little man brought something home from daycare that took a death grip on the whole household. Yeah. Having kids really brings in... it really tests your immunities and your immune system. There's someone who has at work who's like, oh, you're going to be really strong after getting sick. And it's like, I've never felt more weak in my entire life when I get sick, and then 2 weeks later I get sick again. 2 weeks later, something new comes in. 2 weeks later, oh, I got COVID now. Okay. Thanks. I don't think it's getting any better. It is saturated, yes. Is it possible to land a job without a degree? It is possible. Second year of computer science and debate to quit and just self-learn because I'm not happy at the university I chose to get my degree. Why don't you pivot, Kozitakis, to a different university? Do an online one. Or you could just finish up your associates. If you're at your second year, do an associates. Spend a year trying to do some certs and try to get a job. Once you get the job, you don't need a bachelor's unless you want to go into management. Get a master's, more management. I personally am not I'm not a manager material, not at all. I was roommates with a Russian and Georgian. Could never tell if there's an animosity between them. Unless they're straight out of Russia or Georgia, I don't think they're going to have any animosity. unless their parents rubbed off on them a little too much. Maybe getting into cybersecurity, CET, one level lower than a degree in Portugal, which is 1.5 year plus 560-hour internship. That sounds exciting. Juracious. I've never heard of that. CET. All these programs that are outside of the US are unbeknownst to me. But that's a lot of hours of an internship. Hopefully that's worthwhile. What does that break down into? 560 hours in an internship? Is that not that long? Am I just not mathing? 14 weeks of 40 hours a week? That's a lot. That's definitely a lot. All the remote positions I applied to just seem like scams. 2-month, 3-month contract BS. You got to keep applying. I haven't encountered that many scam remote jobs. And I've worked remote for 3 years. An IT position for basically an MSP, and then a security analyst, and then now senior security analyst. So Matt, I've been at help desk for 6 months. Should I get OSCP after a year? My cutoff for jobs where they no longer are all that much more beneficial to having on your resume. You can call me a flake all you want, but this is what's worked for me. 6 months and I'm out of there, if I can be. So you can get your OSCP right now and apply for jobs. If you can get a job, why wait the year? The company, you talk about company loyalty. I've heard that before. This is your life, right? You might have friends there, but again, a lot more money will set you up for retirement sooner. You don't want to be working until you're 70. Is Portugal lit? Kind of looks like it. I haven't traveled anywhere. Man, I'm so uncultured. Have you watched Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet? My kids learn basic networking cyber from it. I have actually. I don't know how much they learned, but they're on their iPads a lot. I think they have a good grasp of the internet at this point. Course, it's like 500 hours. The basics 970 hours or so. Specialization itself. Jeez, that's a lot of time spent. But if it prepares you to do it, 100% 6 months learn the job, next 6 months learn something new or look for a new job. Exactly. Tarnished and I are on the same page. 6 months, and only if you don't like the job, right? If you're looking for something better, don't just quit because you, well, I mean, yeah, it kind of goes without being said. If you're looking for a new job, then something's crappy about your current job. How deep should I get into networking before applying for SOC analyst jobs? Or you don't need to know routing protocols. I'll say that, Cyber Kev. You just need to know the fundamentals of networking and how it can be abused, and like network exploits that rely on certain vulnerabilities in networking themselves. But largely, I haven't had to do a whole lot of network configuration. So it depends on the job, but generally speaking, not much. Heard the Norgami opening on one of your videos had to sub. Yeah. I partake in certain animes. I like certain catchy songs as well. And I feel like some of them fit the outro. I had to. Azores are beautiful. Best part of Portugal. Yeah. We're planning on eventually, when the kids are older, giving them some culture, going to Ireland. I've heard from Danny. I don't know if you're still in here. Ireland has gone to shit. Hopefully it cleans itself up a little bit. But I've always wanted to go there. New Zealand too, but I can't deal with the heat, and I don't want to deal with any of the wildlife in New Zealand. That's a little much for me. Device I got a cert from cybersecurity and studying for CompTIA Security Plus. Any device to do better in cybersecurity. Oh, thank you for the Prime. Yodav TV, appreciate that. That's not a lot to go off of, Shane. What is your cert for cybersecurity? That seems a little generic. Cert for cybersecurity and studying for CompTIA Security Plus. Is that a certificate from a college, or is that just some generic certificate? Because that's not setting yourself up very easily in the current state of the job market. for any entry-level positions. Should I just start studying any software engineering for a job, then I look for a cybersecurity job, or should I just take my time with security and then look for a SIS job? Osama, that's up to you to decide if you like software engineering or not. You're talking about how much coding do you want to do versus very little coding. I feel like software engineering is about as hard to get a job in, so pick your poison at that point. Is FANG your long-term goal? Not at all. I don't want to work for FANG. That being said, I don't want to work for FANG, but some of you might have seen that benefits package at Facebook. If somebody walked up to me and said, hey, you want this? Who's going to say no to that? Right? The only downside to working at FANG is layoffs and potentially being overworked, but it's fine. I'm already overworked as it is. So if you could deal with being overworked and deal with the risk of being laid off, save your money correctly, you're set for quite some time. As long as you don't live out of your means. That Ireland was getting better along with Portugal? Snurdle probably is. I heard it was not great when I was talking about it. I'm going to do an online course for my CompTIA Security Plus. What's the next cert I should be looking for? I think I want to defend. Andrew, after Security Plus, you should probably look for a specialized niche cert. If you can handle it, CCD. If you want to do a little more easier, try your hand at Hack the Box Academy's CDSA because it guides you a little bit more, although CCD does as well. But as far as bang for your buck, you got 500 and roughly 800. I think Security Plus is 400 right now. So I think you can afford it, maybe. I don't know. That's what I would do. Security enough for entry-level remote. Man, we're getting all these is this enough questions. I got to get a mod that says that as soon as somebody says, is this enough? It's just going to say, maybe. Maybe it's enough. And then do like some magic 8-ball phrasing where only time will tell or something like that. Adam, what'd you miss? We're having a discussion at the state of the cybersecurity job market, and I'm answering questions to the best of my ability, best of my knowledge. Ireland and Portugal are bucket list items for me. Yes. Portugal, I don't know about that, but maybe. Is Portugal, what is that next to? Wow, that is, okay. That's on my bucket list now too. Oh, right. Okay, I know where that is now. See, all of us people in the U.S., we don't know our geography. Sure, I know cybersecurity a little bit. Not as much as geography, though. Hard truth, learn C for cybersec, sorry. Nero, elaborate a little bit. Why do you need to know C for cybersecurity? I mean, if you're going down the lines of knowing a little bit of assembly and how that works in lower level code, I kind of see where you're coming at it, but I don't know who's asking about Portugal, but life in Portugal is super expensive. Average salary is 1,400 euro and a house is 800 euro. That's nothing. That is nothing. You should try renting or buying a house in the U.S. I guess I live in a kind of expensive part of the U.S., so maybe that's why I'm a little jaded on that front. Don't lump me in with you. I know where it is. I'm sure you wouldn't admit to not knowing where a country was. I'm willing to admit I didn't fully understand its whereabouts. Moved from NA Ireland to Dublin has gotten pretty rad. It's good to know. Experience the country properly. Recommend driving to other cities into the countryside to get famous sightseeing spots. Yes. You're enticing me to go. Let's defend versus Hack the Box, which is better suited for level 1 to suck analyst position. Well, let's defend, right? Knights Obsidian. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's defend is blue team geared. Hack the Box for the longest time was red teaming geared, and they've only recently introduced Sherlocks, which are more digital forensics and incident response than they are a SOC. So yeah, I'd lean towards let's defend. Is it true as a tier 1 SOC, AI can do most of the work for you? No, not yet. So what AI is doing, Maximos, for SOC level 1 analysts is it's providing them with some, at least with the security tools, some detections that are based off of, well, machine learning, right? You say AI, but what it is, it's a machine learning detection rules, and they do some form of automation. So think email filtering. There's email filters these days that can now block phishing, credential harvesting, and malware automatically will quarantine it. And it's not even machine learning heavy based. It kind of can go through signatures too, but it's just an example. It's just overcomplicating it. It's not doing the work for you. It's just requiring you to understand that that's what's happening in the security tools. So when you go in to investigate these machine learning or AI based security tools detections, you know about it. It's like $49 flight from Ireland last time I checked. Where are you at, Gigi? How's it a $49 flight from Ireland? From the U.S. to Ireland? There's no way. Any specific security job positions that fall under security network devices directly? Securing network devices directly? Yes. Network security. That's huge. Being a network engineer, network administrator, right? There's NOCs, right? Network operation centers who specialize in networking. So you could do that as a job. Jewel. You know, C because that's what Mr. Low Level says. Oh, yeah. I've seen some of Low Level's comments on cybersecurity, and I think he's biased. I try not to be biased in what I say because it's just my experience, because I can see the benefits of knowing C, because I had a class in C that was stressing the importance of knowing a little bit of coding and how it functions in the background and processes, and being able to understand that because it helps you as an analyst. But I haven't had to code anything, so I don't know what his position is. I don't know if he just does YouTube for his main job now or what he was doing before. Biased. I think he's biased. If you got a job offer, how long would you wait for the job to get you onboarded? As long as it takes, specs. If you want the job, right? What programming language would you recommend for cloud engineer cybersecurity? LaFlame. I would just learn Python. Maybe a little bit of Java, SQL. I made a video on the programming languages I think you should focus on. It's kind of in the middle, the iceberg video. I think basically it. Rust. You go Rust. Never heard of C before? Yeah, exactly. C is for all those old farts. It's Rust now. Old man. Talk about. I'm not worried about AI. It's taking them for a while, but AI machine is going to automate certain. So many people around me are going crazy for Python everything. Python's a solid language. So what Darkgeek's been doing for years, exactly. Just dropped into the stream. I'm a second semester freshman. Strews 1. Going for a bachelor's in comp sci and a master's in cyber. Why are you going for your master's? Just curious. At the moment, building up a portfolio with a first cert. Nice. Wondering if cyber is going to be cooked in a few years. No, not at all. It's going to be more complicated. It's turning into this complicated AI stew where you're just throwing more shit into the pot, and you're like, oh God, I hope this works out. And all the companies are like, we can't afford this stew. And then the system administrators are just, there's like, what do you want us to do about this? You said no to the security budget. Of course this happened. No, cybersecurity is not cooked. I hated C rather than learning Python and Bash scripting. Ireland to Portugal in the US, about $300 trip. Okay. Just submitted my capstone assignment for my bachelor's in cyber, working as a client system analyst tech right now. Just doing that until I land a job. It's a good plan. Stay where you're at. Make sure you're leveling up your knowledge, Mr. 2 a.m. I appreciate your response. Is it true that stocks work like 2 hours a day? I've heard they don't work a lot unless the company gets hacked. It depends on the company. Some MSSPs overwork their SOC analysts to complete shit. They keep them on a strict, set amount of ticket requirement. And if you're not meeting those requirements, then you're probably going to lose your job. because some MSSPs want to, well, not some, but like the whole point of MSSP is to onboard as many clients. This is true for MSPs, right? Managed service provider, managed security service provider. You want to onboard people to have your services. This is their business model. Onboard your services. They pay you for your services, and you have to provide service to every company that is under your overarching MSP or MSSP company. If you're doing managed service, like system administration, that's, you know, all the back end stuff, your server support, your endpoint user support, your help desk support, your resetting password, little goons, right? That's what the MSP. For MSSP, that's ingesting all of their security alerts to your security SOC analyst team, and however many alerts is dependent on however many the head honcho decided, oh, we can onboard another client. There's not enough alerts for them to work on, so they just onboard more clients. So it could be very stressful very quickly, and it just depends on the company that you work for. I'm probably not ranting, rambling a little bit. The caffeine's wearing off. The rock star is wearing off. Shane, what do you expect landing a job in cybersecurity? You can expect a lot of fun, Shane. I will tell you that right now. A lot of unsecured stuff, a lot of vulnerabilities and unpatched systems that go unpatched for a very long time, with a lot of risk acceptance by upper management. You're going to advise people. You should just, Shane, you should watch my video that I just posted. Cybersecurity in 8 minutes. That is, I just occurred to me. Go watch that. That'll answer your question. It's 8 minutes of fully explaining what you have to look forward to. Where is your stance on someone working for the Fed as a contractor with a clearance? What is my stance? Good on you for getting a Fed job. I bet you got some decent benefits. It's just a job, right? You're just serving a purpose with the Fed. Maybe you got some knowledge, Night Obsidian, that other people don't know. I bet you have some interesting perspective. No benefits as a contractor? I was going to get benefits when I was a contractor, but that sucks. I guess it varies from the company, I'm sure. I almost got a job for a contracted company with Peace Corps. Is that right? Peace Corps. Yeah. A U.S. government agency. And their benefits package was, well, it's not as good as my current benefits package, pretty sure, but it was still better than what I was getting before as a contractor. Through your company? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Speaking of MSSPs, have you heard good or bad things about Arctic Wolf? Eric, no. I haven't heard. That's good that I haven't heard about them, right? If they did a big no-no, I would have heard about them. So I think they're good on that front. I think starting in the SOC is good. More positions for SOC analysts are available. You get a ton of experience. Exactly. Experience is king. You milk drinker? This is not code, I promise. I just got to know. Snurdle, other than my coffee, I don't drink milk. I don't really have a desire. I'm just not like, oh, I just want this thick cup of milk right now. I just want to like have this like milkshake, but it's not a milkshake. It's semi-sweet. No. That's maybe when I was in high school. I don't really remember. Like chocolate milk? Does that count? Does chocolate milk count as milk? I know we're getting in a little gray area here, but I would drink chocolate milk just fine. Back when I was doing heavy lifting, I would drink chocolate milk as a I couldn't gain weight, so I drank chocolate milk. I was I think it's called an endomorph, where you just, no matter how many calories you get, I could just not bulk up for the life of me. This was when I was in college. Drink with turmeric? That sounds spicy. I don't think I'm going to do that. Hey, Hackers Pub. Thanks for following. Joining in on the fun. Thought that was Exo. Endomorph. Endomorph. This isn't telling me the distinction. Ectomorph is often described as a hard gainer. I'm an ectomorph. Yes. Ectomorph it is. People that drink their milk with ice cubes. I give my kids, they've asked for ice cubes in their milk. I don't know why. It's hit or miss whether they'll ask, but they've asked a lot. Trying to find my age. I don't know what the commands, by the way, Hackers Pub, probably don't work because I just downloaded the app and it I don't think it's configured to do much of anything. What do you what is it? Work as SP, and what Mad Hat just said is pretty accurate. I'm a SOC level 1. Nice. Neo owns. I'm not out of touch as much as I thought. Milk and ice cubes should never go together. Yeah, they probably shouldn't. All right, I answered some questions. I think I'm gonna read through this real quick. There's another article that could or could not be more insightful to what we're talking about today. Demand for skilled professionals is there, but the competition remains intense. If you've been feeling like the job market has hit the pause button, you're not alone. Yeah, I think that's a shared sentiment by many. Many white-collar professionals, especially in tech, are grappling with uncertainty about the future. Yeah, that's me. Constantly worried about losing my job with no real reason to think so. This limbo period is forcing us to reassess strategies to stand out. This article will go over the current state of the market. Okay. Current state. High demand, high competition. We've gone over that. Cybersecurity is and will remain a hot field. Whoever asked, is cybersecurity cooked? No. Well, actually, if it's cooked, that means it's hot. Yes, it is. The problem is the recent tech layoffs and increased influx of fresh graduates have flooded the market, standing out as harder than ever before. Yeah, we've gone over all that. Yeah, the economy the economy is still tough. Tech industry is still going through a rough patch. It is. Layoffs are still ever present. Tech budgets, outsourcing, overall gloominess. Yes, none of this is new. Automation, AI is continuing to take over repetitive tasks. Professionals to upskill and specialize. Yes. Globalization, hire remote. I wonder if he based his video off of this. He's hitting the same points here. He was hitting the same points. Economic uncertainty, scrutinize cybersecurity budgets, emphasizing cost efficiency. Yeah. I'd be curious if he just based his entire video off of the premise of these bullets. What is your opinion on TryHackMe SOC Level 1 certification Hero? I'm currently doing it to gain practical knowledge after gaining Company Security Plus cert. Well, Hyro, I'm actually doing a live speed run of the SOC Level 1. I don't know if you're around during those live streams, but it's not much of a speed run. Some of the questions in there, I will say, are stupid in the way that they phrase it, but otherwise it's a lot of useful information. So my opinion on it is it's good. I've recommended it in the iceberg video, so it is beneficial to getting that job. Given the market's realities, key strategies, how to stand out, bridge the gap between theory and practice. Exactly. Security Plus. It teaches you how to, I've said this in videos too, it teaches you how to talk the talk, but you actually got to walk the walk. You got to be able to apply your abilities that you hopefully have in practical learning environments like TryHackMe or CCD or Hack the Box Academy. You mentioned earlier, pulling these certs and courses in your profile are no longer enough. They're no longer enough. That's right. They may get you to the initial screening for the HR, but Sizzles want to see what skills you bring to the table. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Build practical projects, home labs, right? A list of project ideas for y'all. Adapt to AI and automation. Adapt as in learn about it. It's not going anywhere. It's the wave of the future. Everybody was thinking flying cars were the wave of the future, but boy, were they wrong. AI. AI came in like a truck. Nobody knew about it. Or at the time, nobody could fathom it, is what I should say. If your job involves doing something monotonous like log review, ooh, I don't like seeing that. Patching. We need to upskill. I do that. Professionals must embrace tools that incorporate AI while upskilling. Areas require human judgment, such as threat intelligence, behavior analysis, security architecture design, ethical hacking and penetration testing, AI governance. What is AI governance? AI governance. Is this just GRC, but with AI before it? AI GRC? That's a new term. Let me go back to my, what is AI governance? Governance refers to the process, standards, and guardrails that help ensure AI systems and tools are safe and ethical. Oh, okay. So you're like the AI security engineer. That checks out. Improve your soft skills. Technical skills will get you in the door. Soft skills will keep you there. Exactly. I don't know if I've already said this. I probably have. We've talked a lot. But flying cars, I honestly think that one of my strongest, I'm not technically savvy in as much as I should be, especially on all the positions that I got jobs for. I'm not as technically savvy as most people. I don't learn things very easily. The only thing I have going for me is that I don't give up. Right? I'll stare at shit until I figure it out. And that is a mindset that most people in tech should have. But then beyond that, I'm off on a tangent trying to defend my technical ability. I feel like I have soft skills because I worked in customer service. I did, what was it, 3 years? I'm fidgeting with the pen. I did 3 years with Target customer service. I think it developed your soft skills a lot because you get to deal with Karens all day long. Pardon, got out of tech after 3 years. I got out a couple years ago, but I suppose it's a blessing in disguise. Darius, why'd you get out? Did you get burnt out? People think Sec Plus is a low cert. I disagree. It's on the low tier list compared to higher tier certs, but 6+ skills experience IT is enough to land a very good IT jobs and self-employment. It can be, right? Is it enough? It can be. I think I saw a question about the CISSP. Is CISSP enough for SOC level 1? Fiber Studio, CISSP is not, it's not one of those things that's going to be beneficial in an interview because it gives you very surface level understanding of technical concepts, right? The CISSP is, as everybody says, a mile wide and an inch deep. So you don't get to configure nothing. So it'll look real good on your resume, but when they start asking you questions about like DNS or vulnerabilities and how you've mitigated them, or there's something wrong on this server, we've found blah, blah, blah. How would you go about investigating this? CISSP is not going to help you with that. I mean, you can start pulling out policies like, does this policy exist? Because it should have been stopped. It's like, that's not what they're going to be looking for. Verge's opinion on CCST cybersecurity certification by Cisco, 125, never expires. Never expires part is not good, I will say, but I try to steer away from Cisco as a general rule of thumb for cybersecurity in general. General rule of thumb in general, because Cisco's usually very Cisco proprietary, teach you about their stuff, and not everybody uses Cisco. So you could take it. You'll probably learn plenty. Looks like Night Obsidian talked about Cisco CyberOps as well. I put it in the iceberg list, right? You'll learn a lot about Cisco, but you'll also learn about all the other stuff that similar certs will teach you. So if you want to go down that route, by all means. Hey, who you know? I'm scrolling up through the comments. It's always DNS. That's all you need to know. Yeah, it is a good for management role for sure. Talk about cloud security. I don't know much about cloud security. That's what I'm trying to get into. Cloud security is just AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, right? Those are the three main giants. The triad, the Illuminati, right? There's so many certificates that they have for all of them. So if you know you want to work with one of those, just build out a list of cloud certs that you're interested in, and then go find a cloud security job or cloud engineer job. That's what my coworker from my first MSP job did. He was tier 1. He got promoted to tier 2. Wicked smart. I loved working with them because if something went down, like some stupid program issue, if he went on, he would usually figure it out. He was really good at troubleshooting. He got a couple Azure certs, and he got into an Azure engineering position. Oddly enough, he recommended Network Chuck to me as well. When we were having our last talk, it was really an interesting conversation with him. And he actually reached out recently via LinkedIn, and he was curious if I was looking for a job. And this was right around the time that I landed my current job. So I was like, oh, no, sorry. Which, again, don't burn bridges, everybody. You never know what coworkers are going to move on. You don't know how far they'll fly. Maybe they'll work at CrowdStrike or Blizzard or Activision, where you want to work. So constantly try to make friends where it makes sense. Don't make friends with someone that you hate. There's some people that I hated in my previous jobs that I don't want to talk to ever again. But yes, that's my cloud security bit of knowledge there. Improve your soft skills. Yeah, so goes without saying. Focus on emerging. I think soft skills they're slept on. I don't think people coming out of college, coming out of high school, really understand how to carry themselves in an interview that doesn't make them look either egotistical in the sense that like, oh, yeah, of course I know that, or like completely incompetent because they don't know how to explain themselves. So focus on emerging opportunities while traditional roles like cloud security remain important. Emerging areas like security and generative AI and quantum computing are gaining traction. Of course they are. But unless you want to work specifically in these, then just learn a little bit about them. There's too much to go in that. You got to be basically be a borderline physicist to be able to start working in quantum computing, which we watched a video about, actually. Professionals who can align their skills with these cutting-edge domains will find themselves in demand. Man, can you imagine if you were just like the AI, quantum computing, like exploit vulnerability, like you have the OSEE, you have AI like just down, you're building language models. You're that guy. But that's too much. You got to niche down. That would take like 20, 30 years. I don't know. A lot of dedication to become competent in a lot of different spaces because there's just too much going on. I was working for training and internal AI at Atomic. Promise you could do a remote tier 2. Maybe. Got my last 2 jobs from people I previously worked with. Exactly, administrator. Best beginner job in your opinion? Fiber Studio, depends on what you like. If you mean cybersecurity, there's a bunch. Being an identity person, right? You create the accounts, you lock down access to identity. That could be interesting. Doing triage on tickets in a SOC analyst position, also interesting. Potentially. Depends on your personality and what you're interested in. I personally would say in cybersecurity, security analyst, not SOC analyst, is the most fun because it puts you in a position to talk to a lot of different. As a security analyst, you can talk to red teamers, you can talk to security engineers, you can talk to the identity team, you can talk to the firewall team, you can talk to the networking team, you can talk to everybody. But like, if you get siloed in all these other side ones, you might not be able to talk to them, and it just there's not as much opportunity, unless you're just like an open communication company. But just my opinion. Networking, personal branding, yeah. I swear this is what that one dude based his video off of. Stay resilient. Yep. Grow a backbone, more or less. Market is tough right now. Anyone who says different is delusional. My wife is calling me. I had a lot of fun talking to everybody, even though I feel like complete garbage. I'm about 50% right now, energy-wise, which is hard to believe because I feel like I'm being a total spaz. But landing a cybersecurity job role may take time, especially in a saturated market. Diversifying your job search to include adjacent roles, sure, maybe a stepping stone. More or less what my next video is going to be about. Stepping stones. Because it gets asked a lot and might as well make a video about it, right? Hang in there. You will 100% see the fruits of your patience. We will all get the cybersecurity job we deserve. Good luck in the amazing year ahead of you. I wish you all the best. My wife is going to yell at me if I don't get upstairs. Let me answer some questions first. Would it be best? Where are we going? I went through Learn a Lot. The comp science PhD student who's done more machine learning and cybersecurity. Do I still need to search to prove myself? Saba, probably not. You have a PhD in comp science. I don't think you need to prove nothing. The only thing I will say, Sabah Aslani, is that you knowing how to code doesn't necessarily translate into knowing how to perform certain aspects of blue teaming or red teaming. It certainly stands out, but you might need to polish out kind of the side job functions that those do. Like investigations, for example, you have malware on an endpoint. Do you know how to investigate that? Sure, you know how to code, but does that mean that you know how to, all right, check this, check this, check this? Like, what is your chain of investigation? How do you go from start to finish, and how do you do it in an efficient manner? Because you don't want to be spending 2 hours doing an investigation. Because if you're working at an MSSP job, you might just get fired for being too slow. So, computer science student that got interested in computer science course. I think it will start working towards Network Plus soon. Very nice. How does someone get into pen testing? Zane, you get into pen testing by, certifications, of course, but just exploring exploits. Build your own malware. Do some projects. Oh, my nose is acting up. Do some projects. And most importantly, Zaid, how to get into pen testing is by looking at the pen testing jobs themselves. Look at the job listings. Look at what they're asking for. Find out ways to learn what they're asking you to be able to know how to do. Very simple way of looking into what you need to know. Marco, he just came here for the title. Tech market is not dead. There's just a lot of doom and gloom, Marco. That's my opinion on it. This has been like the clickbaitiest title in so many videos. I've been guilty of clickbait, but I try to back it up with at least a little bit of explaining why I've posted it as such. It depends, Snurdle. It doesn't depend. No. The tech job market, why would it be dead? If anything, the tech job market is kind of just spreading, right? The U.S. jobs are spreading across. People across overseas can now get jobs in the U.S. easily if they're at FANG, apparently. But everything is growing. More demand is growing. It's just harder to get certain jobs because of the saturation of people who are getting sold this story of, oh, you could do it if you just take this boot camp for 6 months. And that's who you're going up against. And it's just a saturation issue. But if you have enough qualifications, you should be fine. Can I land a job with OSCP and CPPH with 8? Purple team, the preferred path currently. I wouldn't say it's preferred, Darius, if it's the path you're interested in doing. Tech is forever. Yeah, tech is massively growing. It's not going much of anywhere. I will say that this is a front end of. This has been going for freaking 100 years. As long as you good, you can do it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, as long as you're good at what you do and you continue to level up, everyone. All right, I'm gonna go. We have people popping off. Yeah, I appreciate everybody sitting into this chat. It's been asked a lot. I thought it'd be a good idea to watch some stuff on it. And I'll be back on tomorrow, probably. I have the day off. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Keep studying. Job market's not screwed. It's not complete shit. You just gotta keep at it, like I did, and you'll get there in no time.